Okay, you know what? If MLS can't get the live watch link to pop up for me, then I guess I'll just go ahead and rock it a cappella here. I was waiting for the stream to start from Apple TV, but there is still no link available. So I guess we're just going to have to go live. So here we go in three, two, one. Hi, internet. Actually, hang on. I'm in the wrong one. There we go. We'll talk about that part in a bit. How's it going? Your soccer zombie Tom Franklin back again with another St. Louis City watch along here. Game slated for 6 p.m. tonight at LAFC. And this is a club that we've had some issues with over the years. And of course, because the fact that there is no actual link to watch the game yet, even though it's coming up on 6 p.m., I'm guessing this one's going to be another one of those lovely MLS. We'll start when we feel like it kind of games, and we'll probably start at like 6:20 or something stupid like that. So, God, this league is dumb sometimes. But anyway, how's it going, everyone? Not in a bad mood tonight at all. I have no reason to be. I mean, I don't know why you would say that. I'm literally wearing it on my head today. Was at Amsterdam a little earlier today, watching Liverpool win the Premier League. What up, Ethan from Louisville? What's up, zombies? Says Ethan. How's it going? Super Peanut, woo! Super Peanut is here to save the day for all the little peanuts everywhere. Jacob Ellis, how's it going? You were first here, so how's it going? Hey, it's Angus Mahorder. How's it going? And the brains of the operation has shown up in the chat. Michael, Chat City Tactics. How's it going, Michael? Good to see you tonight. Thanks for keeping me sane on the day that the Jean de Silva news broke, as I see the link is now up for Apple TV. So we can go ahead and fire that up here. It says, if this is your first ever watch along for St. Louis City, what I like to do is I'll put a little time clock up here. I made it digital this time. I had a physical clock behind me, but I got a new camera and I found it didn't really play very well with the new camera. So we're doing so we have a digital clock. So you sync it up to where the game time is. I always sync it up to the game time of where I'm watching so that you can sync it up as well. So usually you can pause me until you get to the point of the game, or you can pause the game to catch up to me, whichever. Or if you like watching my delayed reaction, you can do that too. There's no one way to do a watch along. Chat City, you're welcome for that incredible defensive performance at Anfield today. You know, and I think you're a Tottenham guy, Michael. There were times where I thought Tottenham actually played. They did all right. It just doesn't look that way because Liverpool absolutely knifed them today. And I think this was just a simple case of Liverpool just being good. They were just good today. They were able to move the ball in tight spaces. They were ultra creative. You had McAllister, uncorking an absolute thunder bastard from outside the block. I mean, outside the box. I mean, how are you going to stop that? That's just a great shot. You did have the one own goal, but it wasn't for because of anything wrong or anything. It was just one of those unfortunate things. But it's kind of crazy. And and it's kind of crazy what's going on with Spurs this year. 5th or 6th most goals scored, yet might be in 17th. It's astonishing, unheard of. Yeah, it really is. Is it time to yeet Ange out of the gaffer spot? It might be time. It might just have to be time. I mean, I know he's still a popular figure, but something's got to give eventually, right? Something absolutely has to give at some point. So, Amy. Amy knows ball. Amy knows ball. She's also, She never walks alone either. And I think today it was just a simple fact that Liverpool was just good. They were just good. They played like they had a title to win today. They understood the assignment, and they went out and cleaned house, because a draw would have done it for them today. And they decided, nope, let's put an emphatic stamp on it. Because the last time Liverpool won the Premier League, it was during COVID, and they couldn't celebrate it properly. Now they can celebrate it in front of their home fans, and yeah. So yeah, Chat City Tax, whatever Australian for all Veter saying is, yes. Ange. Ange will land somewhere, and he'll probably be very popular where he goes. It's just Spurs are cursed. Spurs are absolutely cursed. And speaking of teams that are a little bit cursed, before we get to that point, Mo Salah had his best day. According to Michael Rickers. He really had a great. And the funny thing about Salah is that he was very quiet. He's been kind of quiet the past couple of weeks, but he woke up today. He understood the assignment today. But speaking of teams that are cursed, we're talking about Spurs. Let's talk about St. Louis City and their inability to score goals, because Lord knows we can talk about that enough. And that leads us into a discussion about the starting 11. So this is the starting 11 right over there. There we go. I'm smart. Right over here. You got Ben Lunt in goal. No surprise there. Oliveras is his backup. Berkey's still not quite ready to go yet. But then you have Conrad Vollum, Tomas Ostrak in the starting lineup today. Really curious how he does. Joao Klaus, Josh Yarrow, Marcel Hartl, Kyle Hebert, Alfredo Morales, Timo Baumgartel, Cedric Toyshirt, and Giannis Horn. Don't look into the positioning too much, Michael, because these are numerical in order after Lunt. So 6, 7, 9, 15, 17, 22, 27, 32, 36, and 38. A lot of discussion on Discord, which, by the way, if you're not a part of the Soccer Zombie Discord, there is a link in the description below where you can join. Also, join Chat City Tactics Discord as well. I think there's a link floating around in the Soccer Zombie Discord for that as well. If you just want to, expand your knowledge, definitely worthwhile checking out. But there has been some chatter about the lineup today, and it could be one of a few things today. I think it could. My theory was that it was still going to be a 5 in the back with Horn on the left, Hebert left center back, Timo middle, Yarrow right center back, and Vollum on right wing back to maybe give us a new look, actually open up the right side of the attack for once this year. But also Vollum is speedy, and so is Yarrow. Yarrow's speedy, and they both would be on Denny Bouanga duty today, because Denny Bouanga tends to start out as a left winger, but we do know from the past that Bouanga moves around. Like Denny Bouanga does as Denny Bouanga wants to do. But I think it could be some form of that back 5 with Morales and Ostrak in the middle, and playing above them would be Hartl and Seti Toyshirt as a shadow striker, with Klaus being the tip. Now, the erstwhile Jeremy Clements had a theory that this could be a 4-3-3, in that you have a 4 in the back of Horn, Baumgartel, Yarrow, and Hebert, and then Vollum plays up as an attacker alongside Klaus and Toyshirt, and then you have a middle 3 of Morales, Ostrak, and Hartl. But we're going to see here on the broadcast just a little bit what the formation is going to be. And I assume the lineup, so they're showing 3 in the back, Horn, Baumgartel, Yarrow, a defensive midfield. That's what they describe it as. Conrad, Morales, Ostrak, and Hebert. And then Hartl and Toyshirt as an attacking midfield, and Joao Klaus as your starting striker. So So it's basically like a 3-4-3 almost. I don't know how I feel about Kyle Hebert as a right midfielder in that role. I assume he's going to be kind of cheating back a little bit to more of a wing back, but yeah, and I noticed that too. They have Horn at center back. So, but with the idea that Vollum is a left wing back, maybe, but we've seen I've seen 3-4-3 last week against Vancouver. It looked like more of a 3-4-3, but players would kind of float, depending on the game situation. So you had when Timo would, try to progress the ball up the middle, you had Yarrow kind of cheat in a little bit. Vollen kind of moved in and out a little bit. He inverted at times, but then he played wide at times. So yeah, the shape of this team will be very interesting as the game progresses. And I agree. Interesting position for Hebert. Interesting is a word. Good morning to Carlo from Belgium. How's it going, Carlo? You must be tired. It's almost 1 a.m. there, but he can't watch the game, but he will follow on here. So thanks for following along, Carlo. I'll try to do my best to keep you apprised of what is going on. I guess you can follow on FOTMob, or if you had a VPN, excuse me, or a streams, excuse me, and another way of watching the game, then you could, possibly do that. Yes, I'm with you, Ethan. Please, no injuries this game. We've had enough. Although, did you see Lutz Pfannenstiel or hear about Lutz Pfannenstiel on KMOX this morning saying that Leuven's training and he'll be back to full training with the team this week? Thank goodness. Thank goodness, because Leuven is hopefully Leuven is happy. Hopefully Leuven is everything's going fine in his life right now, and hopefully everything's okay with the family, and whatever that he had going on. And hopefully we have a clear-headed Edouard Leuven, coming back into the fold, because I was kind of wondering why at the deadline we didn't go after another center mid if Leuven's going to be out for a while. Well, I guess he's not going to be out for a while. So that is indeed excellent news. Arnold from France. Vive la France. How's it going, Arnold? We got Belgium and we got France in the chat today. Man, MLS really is going worldwide, folks. Are they? But welcome, Arnold. Welcome to the watch along for LAFC versus St. Louis. And actually, I guess this game, starting a little earlier may not be so bad, because, Arnold, Carlo earlier said that he's in Belgium. It's almost 1 a.m. there. So are you in the same time zone as Belgium, Arnold? Glad you're doing very well. But are you in the same time zone as Belgium? I'm not sure exactly how those work in Europe. I would assume you're probably in the same time zone as England if you're in France, but yeah. So yeah, it is 1:06 in the morning over there in France. Well, glad to have you along. Time to evict Morales from the bad trash pile. I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see that tonight. I think I've been harsh on him, admittedly, maybe a little too harsh depending on who you talk to. But yeah, it might be time for him to step up today, and I hope he does. I really do hope he does. So I'm going to pop on the there we go. Stopwatch is ready to go. You can see it right up here. I started, it's on screen now, so I don't have any weird clock issues behind me. It's just easier for me to remember it's there, and probably easier for you to see as well. I also wasn't listening to Twellman because I was talking. And it turns out you can't really talk and listen at the same time. But if he said anything, let me know. Okay, and Carlo mentioning that France and Belgium are in the same time zone. Got it. Super Rav. Let's go City. Come on, boys. How you feeling after Friday night, Super Rav? We had a bit of a moment on the pitch. Played some pickup soccer in Fenton City Park. We're going to get a group going, with No Goal Patrol, my Discord. We're getting some of the Santos involved as well. And just kind of whoever wants to play. We're kind of making this a weekly, maybe a bi-weekly thing where we rotate different facilities. But I had a chance on goal in the second half, And Super Rav, I think he made the one and only sliding tackle that I saw throughout the whole session. And he got ball. So it was a clean tackle. And then I tripped over him and ended up face down in the soft, I would kind of it was a soft mud. It wasn't like a squishy mud, but yeah, I'm fine. He's fine. We're good. But I do have a bit of a bruise on my shin, Rav. I guess you clipped me when I was going down. I don't remember it, but it was fun. It was good times. Hopefully you're okay too, Rav. So, speaking of Lubin, Angus McCorder, by the way, how's it going, Angus? Speaking of Lubin, yesterday I received a Lubin and Klaus Topps card in a display stand. Very nice. Very nice. I think I have Lubin back here as well. Let's see. I got a bunch of Topps cards. I kind of got into the craze here. Oh, no. Of course, I pull out Indiana Vasilev's like the first one that I see here. Leave the memories alone. But let's see here. I got Joao Klaus here. Technically his rookie card, which is kind of wild to think about. I got some Joe Aquini's. I got Joe Aquini here. That's how long it's been since I was like actively collecting. But then I got a what I would say is a metric fuck ton of Miggy cards, just Miggy Perez cards. I'm buying high on Miggy. And then I also got a bunch of Caden Glovers here, but saw some more Vasilevs. I know I've got Lubin in here somewhere. Here we go. Here's Edu. I got a out of 99 from the from 2023. So yeah, I could talk cards all day, but you're not here for that. You're here for talk about the game, and it looks like we are getting going. So I am going to be responsible streamer and start this watch on time. There we go. Let's go. And we are away at St. Louis City at LAFC. And Arnold is a LAFC fan because of Lloris and Giroud. That is totally understandable. That is 100% understandable. Saw a comment earlier about LAFC's stadium being not very full. Dennis also adding, is the LA stadium even 1/3 full? Probably not. I do agree with this sentiment, Dennis, that Taylor tends to negatively lean on St. Louis because he wants to appear neutral on commentary, but I think we all know what his feelings are on St. Louis. We know he is one of our own. He's one of our own. Jerry, ready to see Jande Silva already. Must see him enter minute 20. Well, hopefully he's not coming in the 20th minute because that means someone's probably hurt, as LAFC already attacking in the box, flicked back, dealt with. Hey! 2 go down. Who was that? Hartle on the tackle there? All right, so I see Vollum on the near side playing up. Just trying to look at this formation and seeing as Hebert is going to be throwing it in. Yes, that is Kyle Hebert, Apple FC. Thank you, Apple TV. Thank you for yes, and that's Olivier Giroud. Yes, he hasn't done anything yet for LAFC, but that is definitely Olivier Giroud. Can I look at the field, please? Thank you. It's like Hartle's still playing kind of deep a little bit. Although they listed him as an attacking midfielder, but look how deep Hartle's playing. All right, up to Klaus. Klaus can't keep possession, tackled away, and out of bounds. Our Apollos, how's it going, our Apollos? How did the Naples do this weekend? Jaeger would have been the Jägermeister Cup this weekend for you, right? FC Dallas beating Miami. Wow. Wait, I thought Miami and Dallas didn't play today, did they? Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. Congrats to Dallas. That's a big win. Olaf looking his very California casual best in shorts and a t-shirt. That is kind of becoming a signature Olaf look. He dresses for comfort, not for style. even though he looks like he could be like a, suit model. God, Olaf looks like he's ready for the beach. Bouanga deep, but it's dealt with. All right, so Hebert and Yarrow were kind of locked on Bouanga there. I think that's going to be a bit of a theme there. So Bouanga just gets a break. I mean, Hebert's on him, to be fair. That was kind of a difficult ball for him to corral. Naples upset Charleston Battery today, 1-0. That's a nice win for you guys. Good hustle by Morales. Yeah, and Bouanga is going to be a serious pain. Yeah, he tends to be. Berkey's not playing. Arnold, he is injured right now. He broke his hand a couple weeks ago. He should be back in a week or two, but he is not on the bench for today or even in between the posts. It is the German goalkeeper Ben Lunt in goal. Oh, you meant last 20 for Silva. Gotcha. Yeah. Bouanga's going to be a good test for our defense tonight, Jeremy. I definitely agree with that. Maybe even a bigger test for the offense as well. I mean, LAFC is not impregnable. Like they have allowed 15 goals this year in 9 matches, and they actually have a -1 goal differential. So this is not an impossible mountain to climb. I mean, their LAFC has been very mid this year starting out. Now we know they have the talent to be a lot better than mid, but it is early. Arnold asking, who, according to you, who's more dangerous, Bouanga or Giroud? Definitely Bouanga, because Giroud hasn't done much of anything for LAFC. He looks cooked, to be quite honest. I don't, and I also think it's maybe the scheme of LAFC I've heard is not really working to his benefit because Giroud's a big guy and he was always kind of a target guy. Of course, I say that LAFC shot Squibber, Luntz got that. But yeah, they have trouble leaking up to Giroud for whatever reason, and he's just not been very effective this year. Bouanga is one of those players, though, that doesn't need the rest of the team to be effective. He just needs to be Denny Bouanga. I mean, Denny Bouanga is one of the absolute best players in MLS, probably top 4 or 5 in the entire league, and he is always a danger man. So I would definitely say Bouanga. Yep, I noticed that too. Klaus playing way back, deep as he does tend to do. Yep, I mentioned that earlier, Jeremy. Lutz said that he's back with the Edouard Leuven's back with the team, should be back soon. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Oh, Carlo found a link in Belgium. Way to go. Now he can watch too. Curious if I'll be ahead of you or behind you, depending on how delayed the link is. Brother Brian, how's it going, Brother Brian? Juarez and Pumas currently in a weather delay. I take it, Brother Brian, that you are you're a Liga MX follower. C squared. Blanca looked like the best player in MLS last weekend against the Timbers. I mean, yeah, he's honestly probably, if he's not my favorite non-St. Louis MLS player, he's up there. He's just fun to watch. He is so fun to watch. He's so dangerous. He is absolutely electric out there. Big fan of him, but I'm terrified of him this game. Although St. Louis, again, they've played really strong defensively to start the year. Maybe they can contain him. Maybe. Hartle's going to have a free kick here. Off to the left side to Vollum. Now over to Horn. Horn squibbers into the box. Doesn't go anywhere. Vollum knocks it out. And we're going to have a LAFC corner. Yeah, the transition game's not been great so far. It looks like we are definitely struggling to get it out from the back again, which is been a bugaboo this whole year, getting it out of the back. Maybe a reason why Hartle is, coming back so far is to try to be a link up. Yeah, because LAFC is definitely playing, they're playing up. They're playing, they are pressing us. Yeah, there is so many empty seats in LA. Is there what else is going on in LA today? Anything? Or is this just typical LA casualness? Oh, through ball, Bouanga was off and he let off. Whew. That's a that's a bit of a let off for St. Louis right there. All right, Hartle in the midfield gets it out to Vollum. We're still playing very wide. Very, very wide. There's a reason Kyle Hebert's wide open because you don't want him to have the ball, Taylor. Hartle in the box. And mishandled by Lloris, but he got it. All right. Naples update. We should beat Charleston 3-0. Missed golden chances that could have easily come back to bite us. Obviously, our goal came from Carson Henderlong. Oh, good old Everlong, Henderlong. That's good though, because I mean, to give you some context, FC Naples is in USL League One. They just beat one of the best USL Championship teams this weekend. Like that's very impressive. And yeah, we are still very much playing backwards. I mean, that could change as the time goes on, but I feel with LAFC being home, we have to weather the storm a little bit. Plenty of great seats available in LA today. We got another Olivier Giroud fan here as shot in the box, and Lund made it look a little easier than it probably looked. But Apollo's saying from personal experience as an Arsenal fan, Giroud is good for link-up play. And like you said, as a target man, if you're asking him to run onto the ball, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, and I don't see that's not how they play Giroud. Like they should be playing Giroud like we play Klaus, as that hold-up striker, that, can create. Instead, he just looks very like from what I've seen from LAFC, he just looks very detached from the LAFC scheme. I'm not going to say what Jeff has said, and I have pulled up here because if he hears it one more time, he's just going to sit in a corner and cry. So just read the words on your screen. Don't actually say them so Jeff doesn't hear them, and everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I mean, Amy, that you're talking about a good number of empty seats. Not that we have much room to talk. I mean, we still had almost 17, 18,000 against Vancouver, which is very good for MLS in general. Honestly, I mean, yeah, it's a blemish on us, but we had multiple things going on. It was Easter weekend, weather was cruddy. We bet on a losing streak, and oh yeah, Blues playoff hockey. Um, I mean, the Blues have over 50 plus years of a head start on St. Louis City in terms of capturing casual fans. I mean, it could be. Yeah, I mean, it could be the fact that this is a Sunday game. Could be, could be. I mean, they got everyone into the habit of expecting games on Saturdays, and then we got Sunday games now. Good D by Ostrak. See, that's how you should be playing Giroud right there as a hold up guy, not as a like tip of the spear, advance forward or anything like that. Yeah, Lakers and Kings are both on the road today. So yeah, that's not an excuse. I see we have another way of pronouncing toy shirt. He pronounces it toy shart. We'll see if he says toy shart's name more this game than other announcers have been saying lately because he's been disconnected from the offense. I mean, granted, the offense itself has been disconnected from everything, but LAFC playing really slow now. So yeah, I do see in this setup, Hartle does play higher up. Um, okay, yeah, I think I see the shape now as Kyle Hebert makes a bombing run. Good cross to Klaus in the box. Oh, he fluffed it. It's kind of a tough ball to handle. Good cross by Hebert. You know, it's so interesting about Kyle Hebert because I think fans, including myself, are very eager to kind of shit on him a bit for his on the ball skills, but he can feed a decent cross. We've seen it from him. That one took a weird deflection. All right, here we go. Klaus forward. I think he was off. Toy was a little off. Yeah, and I agree with you. Never understood Giroud going to LAFC. Just seemed like an oil and water mix from the start. Yeah, totally. Uh, I mean, I'm sure Giroud's not upset about it because he gets to live in LA and he gets to keep earning a paycheck and ride out the twilight of his career. I mean, I would prefer to do that in LA than Saudi Arabia personally. But even if it means that you're not a big part of the club setup, I mean, you're still Olivier Giroud. Some after some early fireworks, we've kind of fallen back into the slow simmer. LAFC trying to get something going on the switch here. Bouanga's got it now. Cuts in, fakes out Yarrow, gets Yarrow spinning. Finally gets tackled by Ostrak. Good play by Ostrak. People don't like Ostrak defensively, and there's and then he makes plays like that and the one earlier that I'm like, he's got the pluckiness down. Maybe he's not an expert at positioning to be like a true six or anything like that, but it's kind of why I was kind of curious about that 4-3-3 look because I'm curious about how Ostrak would look in that. With Hartle playing up, he can be kind of, a plucky, deeper center mid with Morales. Although the structure that they got going today seems to be working out pretty well. Ooh, yeah, I heard that too. Twellman pointing at technical staff for training injuries within 48 hours. I think that's a very valid call out. Although interestingly enough, I did see a opening for a strength and conditioning coach posted on the St. Louis City website like a few days after the Vancouver match. So it could be coincidence. Who knows? But I saw it. Good point being made by Twelman now about how LAFC likes to do a lot of their damage on counters. And really, it seems like St. Louis is letting LAFC try to break them down, as Taylor said, in possession. And as we've kind of seen so far, it's been kind of uninspiring. Yeah, because they got 63 to 37% possession. I don't know if that's necessarily LAFC's game. I like Ostrak's feistiness as well. Annoy the piss out of the big guns. He's good for that. Very underrated part of his game is that he gives no Fs out there. $20 in, and this feels like the less entertaining version of Rocky 4, where Ivan Drago must break Rocky Balboa, and he's gonna spend the whole fight trying to do that, and Rocky doesn't ever truly break. Although, as we learned in Rocky 5, he did kind of break, but um, yeah, this it kind of feels. I think the announcers are pretty spot on here. It's just it feels like LAFC is trying to break us down, and we're not breaking down. And now we're on the counter, which is our game. Although, I guess that's a foul on Klaus for some reason. What, Jerry? I didn't say boring was bad. It's just it. I mean, you can be boring, and you can be effective in this game. I mean, you're not going to win a lot of casual fans this way, but you might eventually win a game this way. Maybe. I mean, we're looking good now, but I want to see how we're doing in the 75th minute, when we've been defending like this all game. God, our transition is just so slow. And that was a bad pass. Bad pass. Not one of Giannis Horn's best. Looked like one of my passes Friday. Give me just a sec. I'll be right back. Of course, I step away and something happens. Naturally. I mean, Loon punched it away, but punched it right to an LAFC player, hit it over. Okay, we got bailed out. Of course, I step away and something happens. Sit here for 20 minutes and nothing happens. I step away and there's excitement. Of course. as I am showing off the duality of man here with my drink choice. It is a City Pilsner in a Union Omaha koozie. I know it's weird because we're going to be playing Union Omaha pretty soon, but I also like Union Omaha. But of course, I'm City till I die. I'm City till I die. I know I am. I sure I am. I'm City till I die. Martinez shot block. Good block. All right, that was a good give and go. Hartle now going to chew up some space. Klaus offside, still offside. No whistles anywhere. Interesting. I know that with offsides, they let it play out, but yeah. I think even the cameraman was expecting a whistle. I mean, it was a clean tackle. It was like the super ravioli tackle on me. It was clean, firm but clean. Seeing the beautiful game on display. Carlo Arnold, are you still glad you stayed up past 1 a.m. to watch this? Oh, Ryan Fraley's here. How's it going? Cooking dinner with streaming in the background. Nice. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Yeah, Super Rav. This is the Parker Pilsner. It is now City Pilsner because Four Hands has learned of the danger of getting attached to players. Of course, I say that, and I have my own Tim Parker scarf right over there. Ryan Fraley keeping it simple with burgers and fries. You cannot go wrong with a good old American burger and fries. I refuse to believe that Rasmus Alm is going to be a part of any part of our team until I actually see him on the field playing in a St. Louis City uniform. So I'm not even going to speculate on that because I just don't believe. I'll believe it when I see it with Alm. That's all I'll say. Mirka. Salud. Tillman in the box. Yarrow snuffs it out. Can he evade the pressure, though? Yes, he can. Good job, Josh. But LAFC is going to get it right back here. Bwanga in the box, deflected away. And handball? Anyone? Bueller? Okay, cool. Cool. Good, clean soccer. Now we are making analogies that St. Louis is playing like they're down a man. When they're not down a man, they're just playing like it because they're so defensive. That is where we are now. Oh, wide open in the box. Giroud, that dispossessed. That's not his game. Good D by Horn. We're playing so good, guys. S T L Vamos. Vamos. St. Louis. Yeah, Jeremy. Wait Jeremy up when we get the ball in the final third. Yeah, this is a snoozer. You know, poor Arnold and Carlo from France and Belgium, respectively, are watching this and thinking, like, gosh, is American soccer really this boring? Yeah, Carlo's saying two cautious teams are playing each other. Yeah, definitely feels like it. Gosh, every time we get a break, there's always a whistle. Every freaking time. Yeah, we can incorporate boredom in with the yeah. Yeah, this is the absolute style. I mean, honestly, Silva may just be over America at this point altogether. Maybe he wants to go back to Portugal. Ooh. That was close. That was close. Some excitement finally. You know, Jeremy, I'm getting to be at this point as well. You know, he says I don't give a f that it's a road game. There is no excuse for us to be playing this way at this point. I'm over it. Same. We play so scared. So scared. And yeah, I know it's knee jerk, but like, yeah, I mean, granted, we probably make Roman Burke's job very easy when he is healthy because we don't give him anything to do. But still, yeah, respect. I agree, Jeremy. Olaf says we have to respect the opponent, but doesn't mean we have to go back into a shell and defend for 90 minutes. There's respect and then there's fear, and what we're seeing today is fear, absolute fear. I've seen dishwater more entertaining than this game. Oh, we got the ball. It's probably a foul. Amy Murr, I don't think we're winning this one 5-1 today. Like I told you at Amsterdam Tavern today, Amy, if you want to watch fun, beautiful, exciting football, you know, watch Liverpool. Don't watch St. Louis. Because I have to watch Liverpool to be reminded that fun football exists. And imagine paying money, all the money it costs to travel in this flippin' country. You know, an airfare, hotel, transportation, to watch this in person. Why would you? Of course, I say that we might actually be doing something near Horn, outside the box, back to Klaus, back to Horn. Anyone want to shoot? I guess it's going to be Horn, and it goes into the 8th row. That was awkward. I mean, I'm getting to the point where like I'm gonna start like, you know, showing off my soccer cards one by one here. I agree, Amy. It was a beautiful morning today. Super Peanut 2K6 right now is sewing his girlfriend's pants and having more fun sewing than watching this game. Oh dear, Yarrow, bad mistake. Oh, big save, Loons! Big save, Loons! What a save! Wow. Ben Loon, if this game ends 0-0, like it is getting to be to that point, remember that save. Remember that save from Ben Loon. Holy cow. What a save. Yeah. Loon did kind of go down. Oh, he's okay. He's okay. Yarrow fumbled. Loon saves. Big Ben. He is a big guy, that is for sure. He's 6'7". He's indeed a tall guy. Yeah, I didn't like how Luton went down there, but it looks like he's going to be okay. I think he did. I think he took a ball to the face. If yeah, oh that was Noggin. He just took that ball straight to the face. Yeah, Big Ben with the big head in the game. Absolutely. Oh, Carl was actually in front of me on stream. Okay. Yeah, and I don't think you can pause those streams. So and now volume's down. Did volume get his bell rung? Oh, we're gonna have the Akil Watts experience coming. I mean, who else? I guess you could move Horn out to the left, and then bring on another center back. Do we have another center back? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think he's getting the good old concussion check right now. Catenaccio Calcio and MLS TV tonight. Love it. It has to be Watts because we don't play Joey Zielinski in this household. We don't talk about Zielinski, even though he's on the roster and is paid, a main roster contract. We don't talk. We don't play Zielinski. Why would you think we would play Zielinski? What would give you that? Why in your right mind would you think we would play Joey Zielinski at this point? Not criticizing you. I was kind of being facetious, but yeah. Oh, ping pong, ping pong! Wow. What a save! I think that was Lunt again. I need a replay on that. Whoop. What a switch. Yeah. Hartle calling for a handball. Not going to get it. Yeah, geez. Geez, indeed. So close. Okay, I'm awake now. I'm awake now. So volume is done. So now we're playing with 10. So they're now not just playing like they have 10 men. Now they actually have 10 men. So that's great. And I'm sure LAFC is in no hurry to do anything that might result in them kicking the ball out of bounds. All right, well, add another one to the injury list. Follow him off to the locker room. Can't have shit in this town. Well, one touch out of bounds. Okay, now we can get a sub in. Oh, that was a poster, and then okay. What a save by the post. I mean, Loon did get a foot on it. Yeah, I think we need an investigation into BJC at this point with all these injuries. And I don't say that as someone that works for one of their competitors. All right, Hebert's now on the left side. Yay. Oh, of course. That is Joao Klaus in a nutshell right there. Has a chance to make a play on it, and he falls over like a Three Stooges stunt. The Joao Klaus experience. Yeah, true. The Cardinals did switch to mercy. And cleared. You know, the weird thing about Watts being in here is that I don't necessarily hate Watts being in right now because he looked good against Vancouver in the second half, especially. I do find it very curious that they won't play Watts out left, but they will play Hebert out left when Hebert clearly does not have a left foot. I don't understand why Watts has such an allergy to playing on the left because he can play there and he's played well there, but I'm not Olaf. But this seems to be like every single St. Louis game so far where we come out with a plan and a structure and one player gets hurt and now we got to worry about the house of cards falling over because then everything shifts. I think Hebert lost his left foot in Nam. I don't think or that or just in clear customs coming back from Canada to to the United States. I mean, could be that. All right, good tackle. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get him some help. Klaus on the right. He's gonna take a shot. Oh, makes Lloris make a diving save. 40th minute and we got a shot. They exist. God, this team is so painful. Good, clean soccer. Okay, LAFC guy, you're not getting the call. Get up. Oh, maybe actually legit. Oh, that is Giroud. Toy shirt. That was a good look, to be fair. This game has looked like Giroud is playing Fat City. I like it. He looks every bit the 35, 36-year-old that he is. I do think we'll see Jande at some point. When Columbus played at St. Louis, they had just acquired Daniel Gazdag right before then, and Gazdag played the entire second half. I don't know if they do that with Jande, but I do think we see Jande at some point. We have to. Yeah. And as Ryan said, if you're going to play bunker ball, you better be deadly on the counter, and right now we're not. A supporter section sitting? Say it ain't so. Jerry with a good observation. Never do we cover the opposite post or side on attacks. Play the mistake. Yep. We sign a lot of creative players that are not very creative. I mean, beer better not be deadly. I mean, otherwise, rip me, I guess. XG 0.003. We are massive. LAFC with a 2.1 XG. How? Was it all on that corner? Or and the okay, and then the loon save. Okay, that's fair. So tired. Tired because I had a long day from watching Liverpool and then the Cardinals. Oh, shot. Corner kick. But I'm also tired of watching this St. Louis team, try to discover what offensive fun soccer is again and failing miserably. Good D by Yaro, though. Yeah, that was a foul. Hebert got owned. Excuse me. It was Nashville, Liverpool, and Blues hogging all our goals today. Thank you. Bouanga in the box, headed away. All right. I stopped the stopwatch because and I'll start it up again when it hits 45-10 in the second half. It's okay, Jerry. Amy and I forgive you. 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes of added time. Super Peanut. I hope that signings like Jeande mean we are going to move into some sort of high push, fast-paced soccer. But then I hit myself in the head because clearly that is a stupid idea, according to the current gaffer in control of this club. I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. I have no thoughts on the matter right now. Bouanga now switched to the right side because that's what he does. Gonna try to LAFC thinks that Hebert is the Winkley, clearly. They're just scared of a kill Watts. I think that's what it is here. And that is a half that happened. That is a half that happened. It is halftime here as well, Carlo. 0-0 watching paint dry affair today. Yeah. And I agree, Dahar. We need Jeande's speed. Let's hope he learns how to score a goal. So it sucked to watch. It didn't suck from an effectiveness standpoint because they kept LAFC off the board, but yeah. All righty then. Cool. Tight. Yeah. Yeah, this is Serie A football at its finest here in MLS. I mean, Carlo Arnaud, it's like you never even left Europe. You mistakenly turned on an Italian game. That's basically what we're getting today. I mean, I'll take it too, but it's just not a fun watch. Like, look, there are shows that are very popular on TV right now that are just boring. They just are. I cannot get interested in like a soap opera, for instance. Let's compare St. Louis City to a soap opera right now. I could not give a single flipping flip what is going on Guiding Light. I just don't care. But it's clearly effective because these are shows that have been going on for decades upon decades, and they have new episodes, 5 days a week. So obviously something's working. Just like with St. Louis, something's working. We're keeping LAFC off the board, but it's just very unfun to watch. Very unfun to watch. Speaking of eating your heart out, Jerry says it is time to make some popcorn. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. If I had popcorn, which I unfortunately don't. Yeah. So if we take a look at the first half stats here, I'm going to pop those up here. There we go. And then I'll full screen that. Yeah. So FOTMob in their infinite wisdom have 1.19 XG for LAFC over our 0.03. So that does check out here. We have one shot on target. They have 11 shots on and 4 on target. 3 big chances. Somehow they've not scored. They're not even LAFC's outpassing us like 90%. We're at 77%. Our passing has been very sloppy, and someone commented about how our transit. I think it was Jeremy that commented about our transition earlier, and our transition is just not transitioning very well. Yeah, I mean, just look at here. I'll zoom in for you. Look at whoops, zoomed in a little far. The shots chart. This is our one shot. It's from way out yonder, from where Toyshirt shot it. But then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots in the box for LAFC. And I guess whatever this red one means signifies a big chance. Yeah, that half sucked. That half absolutely sucked. Hey, it's Sasha Question. He stiffed me on an interview after the Des Moines game, but hi, Sasha. Anyway, I'm starting to lose faith, Jeremy, that Olaf can get this team playing the right way. I thought that we were showing signs of coming out of it in Vancouver, and we have just gone completely back into the shell. It is our safe space. It is our cozy space, living inside this boring ass fucks shell that we are in right now. And even still, it wasn't even that effective because LAFC was still getting chances and multiple good chances. They had 3 big chances in that first half. There is an argument they could be up 3-0 right now, and if they're up 3-0 right now, do we have torches and pitchforks right now? Because we're getting kind of to that. We're getting to a point here. We're getting to kind of a point here where like something needs. We need to actually see tangible results on the pitch. Otherwise, fuck this shit. It's pardon the French, but like this sucks. We took Vancouver to an exciting draw. This is the exact opposite of that. This is a ugly draw if it holds out this way. But yeah, just read them and weep. We're fugly. We are absolutely fugly. We're blocking. We cleared the ball 21 times in the first half, which is just wild to think about that we had to clear the ball 21 times. And Lute made some good saves, to be fair. Yeah. Igor Jesus has been very good for LAFC. I do agree there. He's responsible for almost half of their XG. To be fair, Ben Loon's been solid. Ben Loon has been very solid. I really can't. At this point, he's the man of the match because, almost kind of by default. FOTMob's being a little harsh on him with the 6.8, but he's made 4. They've had 3 big chances. They didn't score. So yeah, Ben freaking Lunt. Ben freaking Lunt. Yeah, and this is kind of one of those times where FOTMob is actually correct with the rest of the world. So I found that very interesting as well. Kyle trying to be positive in the chat. I do appreciate that. We didn't let up a goal in the first half. That's fact. It is early. That's fact. We played a tough game against Columbus. That's fact. We took Vancouver to an exciting draw. That's fact. But may I remind you, we have 5 goals all season long. 5. $5 foot long. That is also how many goals we have right now. 5 in 10 games. 5. We score a half a goal a game. 5. No one else is this inept. No one else. I think even I take it back. CF Montreal is actually more inept. But you know what? CF Montreal is a tire fire right now. It is a raging, burning, smoldering, smoking, flaming tire fire right now. And we have one more goal than CF Montreal. One more. One. So to answer your question, is this turn off the TV X-Pac heat? No. But if this is the story that we're telling in July and August about St. Louis, then yeah, it might be X-Pac heat time after that. All right. I need someone to talk to here. I need someone that can maybe be a little more reasonable. Someone that you may have heard in press conferences. I'm going to bring in Charlie Bilyeu from
How's it going, y'all?
Warner. How's it going, Charlie?
Doing amazing. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to stay awake.
Yeah,
because this is anti-entertaining soccer, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I think something that I saw, Stewart on X said something along the lines of, "It feels like they're playing, trying not to get relegated."
Yeah,
you know, they're playing like they're trying not to lose rather than trying to win. This is what you get when you sign a head coach that is going to be a defensively minded head coach, right? And then you know what you're going to get. You're going to get great defense, which you've had great defense, right? But the thing is, you need good defense to work, to have the system to work. That they've had good defense this whole time, and they've still not been winning games. The transition game is something that you rely on when you have this good of a defense. You need that counterattack. You need the transition game, and it hasn't been there. And
no.
And you just sit back and you say, well, maybe it'll work next time. Something needs to change at this point. Not starting Celio is outrageous. That's your only spark of offense that you had last game. I mean, you have the new guy who's not going to get any minutes. I don't think Silva's going to come into this game with the system because Olaf likes to have a player at a full week of training before he starts him or puts him in at all. He's very a stickler about that. We'll see maybe Bakai Joyner hopefully come in. That could bring a spark on offense and transition game. But having Conrad Vollum come out and Akil Watts come in is just going to hurt the transition game even more. Like Akil is a good player. He is a good defensively minded player that can play on that right side in certain situations, but transitionally, he is not as good as Conrad Vollum. And Vollum, especially going out with concussion, you never know if that's going to be a long-term, like a month. You never know.
Or it could be a nothing like Josh Yarrow was,
Yeah.
And I mean, but you just don't. I mean, I think they had more concern for Vollum than they did with Yarrow at the time. But like, to your point, I mean, Akil Watts, I thought he had a good game last week against Vancouver, especially the second half. He was a little shaky in the first half, but he definitely improved as time went on. But you bring on Akil Watts in that situation because you are terrified of what Denny Bouanga, or actually, you don't have to worry about Denny Bouanga at this point because he switched over to where Hebert switched over on the left side. But it's this very timid, cautious mentality. And as you said, it does kind of feel like we're playing not to get relegated. And, I know it's April right now, which means if we were on the European calendar, even though our league doesn't have pro rel, teams are playing to avoid relegation right now. But this is the first third of the season, for MLS. And we are in this hole right now that it feels, Charlie, like we just are never going to climb out of.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you think like 29% possession, you're not going with this team. This is not a possession team. They've made it very clear that you're not going to have 80%, 70%, 60%, 50% even possession against good teams. And some of it's bad teams too. You had the good possession against Colorado to start the season, then it just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
If you're not going to have good possession, you have to have good passing, and that's what they haven't had so far. The turnovers have been egregious. Like I said, the transition game is the thing you rely on the most, and it's been the worst part so far.
Yeah, and Oscar agrees with Oscar Rojas in the chat. We pass sideways, and when we try to go forward, we lose the ball. Like I remember there was, I think Horn tried to had a really egregious pass. When he was trying to pass it long, he had options, he had outlets for in wearing St. Louis kits, and he passed it right to an LAFC guy.
I mean listen to this stat right here. LAFC has 417 passes. 128 of those in their own half, 247 in City's half. City's had 166 passes, only 70% of those have been accurate, by the way, which is outrageous. It's a horrible percentage. 103 of the 177 or the 166 was in their own half. 25 passes in the opposition half for St. Louis. That is the thing we've been seeing. Sideways and backwards passes, the timidness, the kind of restraint from this team. It feels like they're scared to give it away rather than excited to the chance. If you're going to be scared to give it away, might as well do that after you pass it, right? Say, might as well go for the pass. If it doesn't work, then I need to get back and start playing again. But if the pass does work, then you have a fast break, right? If you're going to take the chance, do it, because it's a 50-50 chance at that point. If you're not going to do anything, it's 100% failure. And that's just what we've seen so far.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And I do have to question, you're needing a spark right now, obviously. It's not working in transition. It's not working even when we're in the final third, the limited times that we've had a chance to be in the final third, that's just not working. You have not one but two creative sparks in Silva and Celio on your bench right now. So what gives at this point? What gives?
It feels like you're putting out the roster you'd put out in like the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Like this is not I understand that Celio had a subpar game, maybe. I didn't think he did. I thought he had an okay game against Vancouver. But talking about starting and not starting, Celio Pompeu is a guy that can make two defenders miss and then send a cross into a guy like Shaw Klaus. I don't think any other player on this team can do that right now. That we've seen. And it's like you're not putting out the best players on the pitch just because they didn't practice 7 days of the week. Like it's I understand the philosophy of you have to be with the team, you have to know the system. But even if you know the system, like Gene Silva, Silva could still add so much value to this team, even without being in practices every day. Even not being in the building, he could come in and have more XG than like the Cedric Toyshirt right now.
Yeah, so it's curious to see if they make any changes in the second half. Like I made the analogy that Columbus, when they acquired Daniel Gazdag, their first game was at St. Louis, and they played Gazdag all second half. So we'll see when Silva comes in, if he does come in at all. By the way, I want to say hello to Wyatt Davis, a San Diego FC content creator and supporter, complimenting the Liverpool hat, because you have to watch Liverpool to watch exciting soccer, unfortunately. But he's saying best of luck to St. Louis in the second half, beat LAFC. And sorry, Wyatt, that San Diego got the loss this weekend. They ended up losing 3-1 to Real Salt Lake. So it looks like Celio is coming on. He's getting a bit of a pep talk from the coaching staff right now. So, and not a moment too soon, right, Charlie?
That is a best case scenario. This offense cannot function without a guy like Celio Pompeu on that left side. Yeah, I guarantee you, mark my words right now. City in the first half had XG of 0.03. That's going to go up exponentially now that Celio Pompeu is coming on the pitch.
100%. And curious enough, this will be the second substitution that St. Louis has made this game. They have one more substitution window to make. So we'll see if Olaf actually does it.
I heard something, Taylor Twillman on the cast said something that it was a concussion protocol substitution, so that did not take up the slot.
Also, it doesn't count towards that. Okay.
So LAFC has an extra slot if they like to use it, but City does have the two substitution windows left, I believe.
Yeah, and Oscar with a good question. Who would come out? And apparently Buckethead is saying they're taking Ostrak off.
Your best transitional pivot player?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It appears to be that way. I'm seeing the players coming out right now, and I don't see Ostrak out there.
That is outrageous. Tomas Ostrak has been your best transitional player in the midfield.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. That's crazy. That's something. That's weird.
Yeah, and sadly, we can't say best transitional midfielder about Alfredo Morales. Sorry, Oscar. This is another one where Morales has been kind of quiet.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy, he is a role player. He's not going to go out there and score. He's not going to go out there and make crazy plays.
Just like Olivier Giroud, he looks very much like a 35, 36-year-old today. Yeah. So, all right, Charlie, well, we'll catch up with you a little later on. I think you might be joining us for the post game.
100%.
All right, Charlie, we'll see you then, man. Take care.
Yeah, have a good one. Take care.
All right, Charlie Bilio of the Top Corner podcast. We'll talk to him a little bit later on as we are getting going here in the second half. I do have the stopwatch ready to go here. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we are synced up now. If Morales isn't a transition player, what is he? What is he at this point? He is a warm body at this point. He is a warm body that wears a St. Louis kit and just occupies a roster spot at this point. Yeah. Melberg, elite coach. Sure. We'll go with that. I'm not seeing the genius, but yeah, come on, Brazilian boys. And you know what? We are one player away from a Portuguese Hydra up front. As here we go. Positivity. Watts, long ball in the box, headed down, and Lloris has it. But at least we're getting balls into the box. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Miggy, again, this is the same Miguel Perez that couldn't get playing time at Birmingham Legion last year. So I'm not ready for Miggy yet. What'd you miss? Celio came on for Ostrak. They decided that Ostrak was the problem. Morales, good ball in the box. Well, no, it's a little long, but it's going to be corralled. Floated in, headed away. Just aimless. All right, Bawanga. Ooh. That's a tackle on Morales. That's going to be a yellow. Morales trying to bail out Yarrow, who is getting absolutely cooked like Ryan Fraley's burgers and fries tonight. Sticks out a foot, clips Bawanga. Ouch. That's why you wear shin pads, folks. That is why you wear shin pads, to avoid Alfredo Morales clipping you in the shin. Sad that we have to. Sad that Morales even had to make a play there. Yep, let's not play Celio and Ostrak together when we already have evidence they can pair up. Let's not have nice things. No, let's have boring-ass football. Like, what incentive are you giving a St. Louis supporter to ever travel for a game as Ben Luton has to make a diving save?
What a save! Good bank!
Yeah, Oscar, I'll be a little bit behind. Usually, you can pause the Apple to queue up if you so desire. Okay, new assignment just to fight boredom. I'm going to try to key on Alfredo Morales this half, and I'm going to try to see the greatness here that I'm clearly missing out on. Okay, that was a good defensive play by Morales. Gets the ball, evades the defense. Okay, that's a good pass by Morales. That's a good pass. Hartle, he's got help on the left, goes right instead, into traffic. Klaus, back into traffic. Good pass, though. Is Hartle like blind on this side? He had a player breaking on the left. I think it was Celio, and he just completely ignored him. So close, no finish. Bouanga trying to shake his man. Hebert, good job there. Good way to hold his ground. Although, why is Hebert playing on so far right? Anyway, yeah, pass behind Watts. Yeah, let's not feed. When you're on a break. Who does Marcel Hartle pass to? Does he pass to the creative goal scoring capable player in Celio breaking to his left, or does he feed it to Kill frickin' Watts? He feeds it to a Kill frickin' Watts and doesn't even get it on target to him. Absolutely ridiculous, Aaron. Absolutely ridiculous. Here we go. Look, he's got Celio in all sorts of space, and then he passes it behind a Kill Watts who has a man riding his back. Jesus. And I think Bucket Hat kind of sums up my actual feelings on Morales here. So I like Durkin a lot, but he does make crazy runs sometimes. That I agree. He drives me nuts. I don't mind Morales. I just haven't seen anything to have him be a total starter. And yeah, it looks like Hartle has moved back to CM. Although we've seen him float. Oh, here we go in the box shot. Yes, come on! I believed. I always believed. He just said it's as unlikely as a goal can be. Oh, great. Do we have a handball controversy here? Do we have a hand? So it's not offsides this time. We're back to the old handball. No, it didn't hit off Toy Shirt's arm. No touch from Klaus. No touch from Toy. Yeah, that's a goal. That is a goal. The first goal ever in St. Louis City history. That is. But oh, my stream is frozen for some reason. Oh, it's back. Never mind. My Apple TV stream cannot believe what happened so much that it actually like paused on me for 10 seconds. So I need to refresh here. Give me just a sec. Meantime, I'll catch up here. SETI, goal, Vamos. Won't believe it till they restarted. Toy Shirt with the goal. I mean, this was his second good chance of the game. I'm glad that he's kind of breaking out of it here. All right, get me back in there, Apple TV, please and thank you. All right, there we go. Back. Watch live. Okay, we back. Sorry about that, guys. Bouanga trying to do Bouanga things, goes into the box. Stop and go. Okay, that's where we are. All right. Jerry, you're right. Patience. I was so negative and cranky, and I apologize for that. Aaron and Jerry always believed. Aaron, especially you, woohoo! I agree, Amy. Wow. Don't let up. Angus is awake now. You love to see it. What a ball from Horn. Great run from Toy Shirt. No, I mean, Kyle definitely always believed. Let's be pleased that the defense held strong in the first half. Yeah. Are we not entertained? Yeah. I mean, it's not soccer unless you're going through some pain to get to glory. And I say that as a Liverpool fan whose Liverpool teams in the early 2010s were just absolute ass until Jurgen Klopp showed up. And I say that as a Doncaster Rovers supporter. Just got promoted to League One after 3 years in the mud in League Two and almost getting relegated last season. Perspective. And of course, Ryan spoke it into existence because he said we are immune to creativity right as we show actual creativity. Okay. Jeremy throws this out, and I am going to let's discuss how much does a goal change your perspective on the performance? It's a good question. It's a good journalist question. The problem we were having was that we had no signs that we could score. We were not expecting a goal. The announcers weren't expecting a goal. They called it as unlikely a goal as you will ever see. And now Toysher gets dispossessed in midfield, so that was an exciting moment. But if we're playing super defensive ball and we're scoring, hooray! But the problem that we were having was that there was no evidence that we were about to score anytime before Jesus returns and walks the earth again. That was the problem that we were having. And I will say that as someone that, literally has a segment on my channel called Player Rankings where it is reactive to what is going on. I speak as a reactive person in the moment. And as I've said before, I'm a vibes guy. So, that's my perspective. And Wrexham's a good example of a team that's in the mud that goes up and has glory days. I mean, 3 straight promotions in 3 straight years is pretty wild. I mean, hats off to them. I mean, and a lot of people get on Wrexham because it's the Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney club. They spend so much money. They actually don't. They spend wisely. They actually do spend wisely, but they're not. If you look at like the actual payroll budget in League One this year, Wrexham's not on the top. They just spend very well. And also, I think they're just, if you're a good player, they're probably a very attractive team to play for. Just like a lot of players want to play for Inter Miami right now because they get a chance to play with Messi and Suarez and Busquets and Jordi Alba. I mean, yeah, if I'm a player that is looking to advance their career, I mean, I would want to go to Inter Miami too. Just like if you're playing over in Europe, I mean, or in England, Wrexham probably looks very fun right now as Klaus fluffs a shot. Yeah, Paul Bones only makes like $250K. It's not much. I mean, that would be a lower half of the, lower half salary for us. I think he'd make like, maybe like, twice of what Josh Yarrow makes, maybe 3 times at the most. Well, you say that, Jerry, but then everyone and their mother is saying that Jamie Vardy is going to end up with Wrexham next year, which honestly would be a smart move for a few reasons. I think that's Vardy's level, the Sky Bet Championship. I think Wrexham will want to establish themselves in the Championship. I don't think they're going to get promoted again. Championship's the hardest league probably in Europe to get promoted from, period, because of the disparity in spending from the top and bottom of the table. But yeah, I think for marketing purposes, I mean, if they get a superstar like Vardy playing in a Wrexham uniform, then yeah, then you do it, because he can still probably put in a shift in the Championship. Absolutely. Yeah, Wrexham was 3rd in spending. First was a club that won the league, which was Birmingham, which tracks. And Birmingham ran away with the league. Birmingham City ran away with League One. Yep. Okay. Fair play. Yeah, fair. Morales had a good play there. Okay. Now that I've been watching Morales a little bit more. Okay, my opinion on him is improving as time goes on. You hear that, Oscar? Yeah, there is no way that Wrexham's going to spend what one of the three clubs in the Premier League that are going down spend. Like, they're not going to match Southampton in spending. They just aren't. They aren't going to match Ipswich or Leicester in spending. But they will invest. Hartle with a shot wide. Yeah, Birmingham was spending 50% more than the next club. So, yeah. Spending helps. Right, Carolyn Kindle? Why do we never consider fast throw-ins 1 mega ohm? It's because we don't play very fast in general. We are literally the living soccer embodiment of a tortoise, including hiding in a shell as our defensive tactic. Ooh, Lockie's got 20-1 on a 0-1 correct score, man. That sounds like if this holds, Lockie's rent is paid next month. Oh, this is another good transition. They got bodies there. Toyshire in the middle, gets it out to Klaus. Good pass. Klaus shot shanked a little long. He was losing the angle. Pretty well covered. But this is positive. And now, guess what? We can attack through the middle where your creative players are. Go figure. Go figure. Yeah, we need our strikers to put better strikes on the target for sure. But I mean, he didn't have a great angle. He was getting closed down by that defender. He didn't have much of an angle, to be fair. But I like the fact, yeah, and very pretty pass from Seti. Seti's having a good game today. Seti's having an absolutely great game today. He's finally a part of this offense, I feel like, and he's waking up. It looks like the supporter section standing again. And that's a good point, Jerry. Seti himself said he just needed to get warmed up. Well, I think he's pretty warm now, because he was still getting back to fitness. And like, you know, there's a chance if we bring on Jande Silva that it's still Seti that gets taken out just because of his fitness level. But yeah, I'm with you, Super Rab. LAFC's supporter section is always hype. I don't understand. So explain to me, guys, why does LAFC get so much hate around the league? I mean, I get the LA thing. I get that they can't spend on, you know, bougie players like Lloris and Giroud. Oh, Bouanga in the box, shot blocked. Oh, I thought that was going out of bounds. That kind of optical illusion me. Giroud was there, and he just, yeah, that face kind of sums up his season. So Bouanga flicked off a Baumgartel and kept it in. And then I think it was actually cleared out by Horn, it looked like. Nope, it wasn't. It went off Giroud. Because we're having a goal kick. Yeah, sound great. Yeah, Baumgartel having another great game. At this point, I'm convinced that if Oscar Rojas started as our central center back, he would probably be like a smash or a good every single game. Seems like whoever we play in that role just does absolute Lord's work. Good point, Jeremy. We don't seem to get the whistles that LAFC does. Good clearance. Good clearance. Delgado, there we go. See, now this is more entertaining. This is more entertaining. LAFC now has incentive to put pressure on, and we're still holding our ground. Okay, Bouanga's a flopper. I mean, Joe Aquini was a flopper. Lord knows he drove us nuts enough. The guy from Vancouver last week was a flopper. Yeah, Oscar, what is your footy background? Can you play center back, or are you more of a midfielder? Is that why you have defended Morales so much? Is because you were a former six yourself, and you see what I don't. Usually, I'm see Morales is playing better this second half. Yeah, playing really. This is strong soccer we're seeing now. Good observation. Yeah, it looks like Watts is playing a six now. That's a good observation, Buckethead. Watts is playing a six now. Looks like it's a back four of Hebert, Yarrow, Timo, and Horn. Although Horn has just got cooked and cleared out. Very interesting time to shift from a 5 in the back to a 4. Corner for LAFC. That's interesting. Yeah, Akil is definitely playing a lot more like a. Well, I don't know. He did kind of wander back into the right wingback spot. But yeah, I saw that too. He was playing more centrally. I think that may be just more of another example of how fluid that our look can be. Corner kick. Tillman on the back post, but shivs it. Dude, what a result this would be if this actually holds. Oh, by the way, can I get a City Leads in the chat? Because I haven't had a chance to play that in a while. I actually almost forgot I had it. Pompeo, right place, right time. Giroud was off. Didn't matter, out of bounds anyway. City Leads. Yes. My voice doesn't have the full range because I was doing a lot of chanting in Amsterdam Tavern earlier. Looks like the Turkish youngster for LAFC is coming on Under. Cengiz Under. That's a hell of a name. Cengiz Under. Like, if I am writing a script for a movie and I need a Turkish or someone from the steppe that is a villain, you can do a lot worse than Cengiz Under. Oh, here we go. Joyner and Betcher coming on. So we're going to burn another game for Joyner. But the fact of bringing on Joyner and Betcher tells me that they still think that there's goals to be had. I didn't catch the other name that they mentioned. I saw Joyner and Betcher. Were those the only two? Curious if Silva is going to come on or not. Yeah, okay, then you're probably right. Silva may not be playing. I agree. That would be a bummer because I think he'd have incentive to start off his campaign right here. I mean, imagine if Silva got the game sealing goal. Oh, Nilsson. Got it. Nilsson coming on. Curious who Nilsson would be coming on for at this point. Horn, maybe? Because Horn looks like he's a little slow right now. Looks like Celio's playing back as a wing back now. Or is he just playing back in? It might just be him playing back in general. Wow. All those players back in the box for St. Louis, and Bouanga still finds a way. Ridiculous. Yeah, that joy. Bouanga doing Bouanga things. I don't think he was offsides. I don't think he was off. At first glance, I don't think he was off. Jesus. We can't have shit in this town. Yeah, Bouanga behind. It wasn't shit marking. This was a good pass. Bouanga timed his break perfectly. I mean, Heber was where he was supposed to be. It's just that. I mean, you could say that Hebert should have had more awareness of where Bouanga was going, because it looked like, he was, doing some ball watching for sure. But that was just a well-timed break by Bouanga and a well-placed cross. I mean, yeah, back post defending is an issue. Yeah, Hebert was doing some ball watching. On the replay, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it was a well set up play, and you could argue that Hebert could have done more. I agree now. I was actually being nice to Hebert, I think, but on the replay, yeah, he was definitely doing way too. You cannot just ignore Bouanga. You just cannot ignore Bouanga. You can't. I mean, Hebert is supposed to be Bouanga's shadow. Yeah, horn went off for Nilsson, by the way. As expected. I mean, and yeah, C Squared has a good point. Let's be real, they should have more than one goal. They should have more. I mean, that's totally fair. I mean, I predicted 2-2. And we are halfway there with at least 20 minutes left to play. Yeah, and I agree. Joyner coming in looked like it was going to be a shift to a back five as well, but now what? Because now it looks like Joyner's playing up. So Hebert's out back at wing back. Now they got Yarrow on Bouanga. Oh my God. Predictable. Absolutely predictable. You're gonna have Josh Yarrow solo Mark Bouanga and expect something besides what just happened to happen? Really? Yeah, ouch indeed. I'm a little bit more than sighing right now. Yeah. Okay. Carlo just gave it away. Yarrow gave away the pen. No surprise. Yeah. Fun. Yeah. Josh Yarrow, master USL defender. Nah, Aaron, he's probably, he could probably be an absolute star for FC Tulsa. That's his level. Yes, Josh Yarrow has been my man of the match twice this year. Yes, he's earned that at times, but then we're reminded, like tonight, how limited he exactly is. Michael is going to make some soup. Bouanga versus Ben Lunt. This is Jake Lloyd versus Darth Maul. And the winner is Jake Lloyd! Let's go!
What a save! Good thanks!
Ben Lunt for mayor! How did that? He stopped Bouanga. And now we got a counter. It's Betcher over to Celio. And it runs under Betcher. Betcher gets the ball back. Holds. Looking for help. He has help if he would see it. Into the box way too long. Why is Joakim Nielsen playing up that far? Yeah, what a save indeed. Holy cow. Big Ben. OMG. This is, my God. I mean, created by a great forward, to be fair. But, I mean, that's more of just an error of, I mean, Bouanga honestly should have, I mean, he should be double marked at this point. Yeah, poor Penn. He's looned. He's looned. He's in your head. Yep. Bouanga always goes right on his pens. Very predictable. I mean, Bucket Hat's got the cheaters. Yep. Nice save. Ben Lunt does what Roman Berkey can't. Roman Berkey, if he had a gun to his head, could not make a penalty stop to save his life. Ben Lunt just stopped Denny Bouanga. Ben Lunt, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. Yeah, who is this Roman Berkey guy? Betcher in deep. Good D, though. Yeah, Lunt, honestly, he's probably is at this point. He's the reason we're in this game right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Lunt. Ben Lunt is going to earn himself a starting job with his performance this year somewhere in MLS, hopefully. Because Ben Lunt, since Berkey has gone down, has been stellar. Amazing indeed. Hartle, corner, punched away by Lloris. Good hustle by Joyner to win the header, but no one's there to respond. Oh, yeah, you are. Joyner outside the box. Take a crack, kid. He gets blocked. Oh, Lloris shivved it. Oh, good step. Keep it up. Good job, Heebs. Oh, and he gets tackled, and that should be a yellow. Way to redeem yourself, Heebs. Good hustle. Yeah, he would love Michael Rakers would love a goalie that distributes like Berkey, but has Lunt's awareness. But that would be a Premier League goalie, and we can't have that. Yeah, I'm absolutely speechless, David. Yeah, in your head, Ben Lunt. And I wouldn't be honestly. I don't think we're going to keep Ben Lunt if he keeps playing like this. Someone's going to buy him from us. Because he has shown that he deserves a starting gig in MLS somewhere. I mean, if Berkey does leave after this season, which hopefully not, Hartle in the box, a little bit long. It feels so refreshing for us to have the ball on our own end and not be constantly under siege by LAFC. All right, come on, Mackay. Come on. All right, good press. Now we're pressing him. Now we got fresh legs out there and we're pressing. I like this. We are exactly. We are taking risk right now. We are playing for the dub. You love to see it. 30 people in the chat. Drop a like if you're enjoying this watch along, if you're enjoying this game, and if you believe that St. Louis can pull this out. Yarrow is buying Ben Lunt Josh Yarrow needs to buy Ben Lunt a Rolex. Although, can Josh Yarrow afford a Rolex with his salary? I don't know. Maybe a steak dinner at like Ruth's Chris will probably have to do. But it's probably going to have to be a pretty big steak because Ben Loon's a pretty big boy. Come on, you boys in Watt. Yeah, I know it's crazy. We're on the front foot, but don't jinx it. All right. Are we not entertained, Kyle Van Clee of No Goal Patrol? Now we're entertained. After nearly slipping into a coma in the first half, ladies and gentlemen, we have entertaining football. Finally. Hartle's been okay. Hartle's been okay this game. He's definitely trying to pull strings out there. And he's not having to play as deep this time, and I think that just suits him more. Although we have Akil Watts as one of our attacking mids now. Looks like he's more of a box to box, and then Morales is playing a little deeper, which is kind of like, honestly, if you're going to deploy them both, that's the way it kind of should be. Okay, I don't mind this. I don't mind Watts being our pressing midfielder. Because he can defend, and that should translate into decent pressing. And his legs are fresh too. So that makes sense. Oh, was that the mistake that LAFC was waiting for? There is space now. There is space for LAFC to operate, but good D. Love right before the replay. Timo is giving Nilsson some dap. Update, breaking news. Super Peanut has finished sewing his wife's pants, everyone. I'm sure it's a masterpiece. I'm sure you did great. Topher Jenks, what's up, man? Welcome to the watch along. Quite a few of you in here now. All of a sudden, things are interesting. God, it's gonna be so funny when I watch this back because I might do like a highlight clip or something. Error occurred. It kicked me out of the stream for some reason. Do this again. Watch. Anyone else's Apple TV just kind of spaz out on them, or was it just me? All right, we're back. But I've got a. Oh no! Second yellow for Morales. Oh shoot. Okay. I mean, Morales is battling. That's not a yellow. That is not a yellow. I'm gonna actually watch I'm watching another look at replay of this. I need to see this again. I mean, yeah, he had his arm on his shoulder, but he went down pretty easily there. He went down really, really easily. Anyway, yeah, Morales is off. Yeah, that's not even a foul. That is very soft, especially as Jerry said, he's already on AL. Unless Morales was warned before. I mean, because usually refs give a little bit of grace if you're on one yellow. Usually if you commit another foul that's like a borderline call, you get talked to by the ref. I don't know if he did or not, but that's soft. That is incredibly, incredibly soft. I mean, that's not even a foul. He had his arm on his. Putting your hand on someone else's shoulder is not a foul. That's not a foul. But yep, fasten your seatbelts. We coping Yoda is back. Coping baby Yoda is back. Coping Yoda with his Sporting KC bunny ears. I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me. I've noticed that too, Buckethead. The refs haven't given much grace for second yellows this year either. I have kind of noticed that as well. And that ball's a little strong. Whew. Okay. Hardo makes Lloris make a save. Good attempt. To answer Daniel, your question, where is Silva? On the bench. That is the answer. But honestly, now I think we're definitely not going to see Silva now if we're down to 10. If anything, we make a more defensive-minded sub. I'm kind of with you on that. It was kind of a weird time to switch to a back four. I don't want to say that's what burned us necessarily, but it was a weird timing on that. Oh, good ball. Good ball to Watts. Watts beats his man. Akil Watts, ladies and gentlemen, crosses over to Hart. Oh! I think Lloris got a piece. Corner for St. Louis. Yeah. Yarrow, not great. Yarrow will not be man of the match this game, just FYI. He will not earn his third man of the match this year. Ugh. Yeah. Twelman suggesting that they take off Heber for Silva. Interesting. That's risky when you're down to 10. Hartle corner kick. Again, it clears everyone. Why do we have no one on the backside? That's the second time on a free kick situation where Hartle just skied everyone. And I don't know if it's necessarily on a Hartle or just not having players in the right position. Yeah, not great. If it does finish this way, is saying we stole a point too much, Jeremy? Maybe. Well, I mean, it not as in like it's not too harsh. It's not too harsh. Yeah, and I agree. I almost wish Hartle would have let that one go to Joyner because Joyner had a better look, but maybe it wasn't strong enough. Heber for Silva was before the red. Gotcha. Ref. Thank you. All right. Well, what's wrong with Langer set pieces? Well, let's see if it's just Hartle skying them tonight or what, because we're gonna get another chance here. I mean, at this point, I mean, calling this stealing a point isn't that's not too harsh. At this point, it's grand larceny. I agree. Betcher is looking pretty good. All right, Hartle. I'm seeing calls of a goal in chat. Hartle in the box, headed away, bouncing around, still in. Yes, it's in!
To give Chelsea a place in the Champions League.
Forget stealing a point. We're stealing 3. We are stealing 3. Black must be way ahead. Oh We're taking 3. Oh no, are we getting more offsides fun? Oh, it went off of Nilsson. Nilsson Joachim Nilsson, supreme goal scorer. He scored a bicycle and then he scores one off his back. OMG. OMG. A goal by Joachim Nilsson that went off his back. The experience St. Louis City SC football. City lead! Yeah, we are. Somehow, some way, we're leading. Grand Theft Football. All right, they are pausing for a while here. STL out of nowhere. Love it. Lloris is miffed. I know. This is a long. If we had Premier League technology where it's clearly showing who's offside and who's not, we wouldn't have these long ass VARs. MLS can afford it. I don't like this wait. And now this means we're going to have like all sorts of stoppage time now once we actually do get back going. So it's going to be a chance for LA. If this goal is disallowed, then LAFC is going to have all the time to, get the lead again. You got to follow the script. So it might not be offsides. It might be a handball. It went off his shoulder. That's his shoulder. Did it go off Nilsson's elbow? I don't think it went off his elbow. Twelman thinks it stands. Breaking news from Belgium. The goal stands. Only 6 minutes of added time, but I'm sure that there's going to be more tacked on. Yeah, come on, guys. Now we park the bus. Do I have the Beatles queued up? I don't. I want to avoid a copyright strike, so no, I don't. I know, right? I mean, Carlo, if that goal had been reversed, I mean, that would be just quintessential St. Louis soccer or football, as they say over there. Good D, Celio. Good D, Celio. Whoa, that was not good D, Celio. Now we're on Hebert. Hebert snuffed him out. Goes down. Good. Even if that was a flop, Hebert, that was a tactical flop. That penalty save is gigantic now. He's still the man of the match if this holds. I mean, even if we draw, I think I mean, there's an argument that unless he does something really egregious, that he's still got to be the man of the match. We'll have our player rankings after we do a post game with Charlie. Wow. Bucket's about to have a heart attack. Been a while since we did some time wasting. Keep Bawanga out of the box. All true things. 2 minutes plus left to go. Good job, Betcher. This is where Simon Betcher can excel. This is absolutely where Simon Betcher can excel as a physical, annoy the piss out of you forward. This is where he belongs. City app shows Ben Loon 84% man of the match. That is good voting right there. Yeah, player rankings are going to be fun. Absolutely fun. Oh no, get there, Yarrow, get there, Yarrow, get there, Yarrow. He just gets shoved away by Bouanga. Turned around. 3 defenders. He had 3 defenders on him. And yeah, Yarrow completely undressed. We can't have shit in this town. Can't have shit in this town. Michael's returned to his soup. I know, Wyatt. This is St. Louis soccer for you right here. We can't have shit in this town. Except a draw. Yeah, and I'm with you. I'd rather have Yarrow bring him down for a red, too. I predicted 2-2, though, so there's actually a chance that I actually win the St. Louis City SC prediction game thingy for the first time ever. So there's that. Still not upset. I'm still not upset with a point. I'm still not upset with a point. Oh, Mackay! Ref! Oh, man. Oh, LAFC's got all sorts of space. Denny Bouanga's got space. Tries to cross it. Good clearance by Yarrow. We have become unstuck. How is Bouanga so wide open, Wyatt? Because he's Denny Bouanga. Bouanga just finds ways to make things happen. He's just that good. He is just that good. It's good. Yeah, well, he can't have that. But by the way, Frankie Amaya gets a debut for LAFC, but I guess Jean De Silva can't for us. But I mean, the red card probably changed that, to be fair. Oh, Olivier Giroud looks just absolutely pleased. And that's game. We showed heart in the second half. We let Denny Bouanga have too much space. We should have lost 3-1. We should have lost 4-1. We're instead going home after a 2-2 slugfest. I will take it. I'm with you on that, White. I'm with you with that bucket hat as well. A fortunate yet heartbreaking draw. I mean, I'm not even that heartbroken. We got a point. I'm not that depressed. It became entertaining. We showed fight. We punched above our weight. It felt like, and we put ourselves in position to get 3. We still come home with 1. I will take the point. I'm taking the point. I am 100% taking the point. I am not upset about this. Denny Bouanga is a special kind of player. Yes, the defending on him was pretty bad. I may not be very kind to Josh Yarrow on my player rankings this time, but for that reason. But yeah, I'm not upset. I am not upset. I am a lot more positive than I was at halftime. And speaking of halftime, let's go ahead and bring on our guest that we had on at halftime. one Mr. Charlie Billieu. Looks like you have a absolutely head-splitting headache right now.
I mean, you just threw away 3 points against a good team.
We did.
That's, for me, the way I look at it. That game, like you said, you're punching above your weight, but the weight that the weight class City FC wants to be in is a playoff contender, and that's the weight class LAFC is in. All right, so if you want to contend with the big dogs, you got to show some fight, and they showed some fight today. Don't get me wrong, but in the playoffs, if you go 2-2 after that, the momentum, you know where the momentum's going after they score in extra time and 2-2. Like I don't know, like the season is teetering right now on playoff eligibility. And if you find yourself out of the playoffs by 2 points, this game's going to come back and sting you, because you had this game. This was a win. This was a win in the last 4 minutes.
But it had no right to be a win. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it had no right to be a win. If Ben Lunt doesn't make that stop on Bouanga on the penalty kick, he doesn't make that big stop in the first half, I mean, this should be a 4-2 LAFC win. Honestly,
that's exactly why I'm not happy. You got Ben Lunt played out of his mind. You had the chances. He bailed you out so many times. You have to take advantage of a game like this and get the 3 points. It's unfortunate. It happens. But, I mean, you get the one. You got to start winning some games. That's winless in your last 6 now. You got to start winning some games. And that is not an opinion. That is a fact. You need to start winning games. You had 3 defenders on the LAFC player at the end, and none of them come up with the ball. You got to force them to your left on a right-footed player. You didn't. It's unfortunate. It's something. I have a lot of questions for Olaf and some players that I'll be asking in about a couple minutes once I hop on the Zoom link.
Sure.
And I don't know. It's tough. It's unfortunate. But like you said, if we're going to look on the positive side, I mean, it's a point. But you're gonna have to do more than just a point in your next couple games. You know, like I think they played well in the second half, better than the first half, 100%. But can they play more than? Can they play a solid 90 rather than a solid 45? And that's a question I just don't know the answer to right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it is disappointing that we got the draw. We had a chance to get a 3. I mean, it's so interesting because, like, remember the tone that we had after the first half when we were so negative, and like, I mean, there is reason to be positive about what happened today, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, it was a chance to get 3, and we did kind of bottle it.
Yeah, and also, like, you look at the defense performance, like, we pride ourselves on defense. A 3.71 expected goals for the other team. Like, I don't know, if you're going to say that defense is your top priority, then, and you say you can contend with the best, you shut out the Whitecaps and you give up 2 to LAFC, and then, you know, you give up an expected goals near 4. I mean, like, I don't know. It's something that is concerning. I think 608 passes from LAFC is a crazy number. That is a astronomically high number. And like the open play expected goals was amazing for LAFC. The set play expected goals was amazing. They played a great game, and I just don't know, like, come October, if City can keep up with that. Like, I want them to make the playoffs so bad, but when they do, and if they do, like, you gotta play better than this. And at this point, we're not talking about if, or, you know, we're not talking about like if. We're talking about, or not. Sorry, we're not talking about when we make the playoffs. We're talking about if. Like, this team is teetering right now. Season ends right now. They're not in. End of story. But the season is not ending right now. You have many more games to play. You just need to consistently play better. Like, you just need to play better, get 3 points.
Oh, 100%. And hopefully by the time that we're in October, this game is a distant memory, you know, in one way, shape, or form. Hopefully we're a different team in October. Hopefully we figure it out in October, by October, and we're talking about playoff soccer instead of what if,
100%.
you know.
Yeah,
100%. So, all right, Charlie, you got a coach to talk to, so I'll let you go do that.
Man. I appreciate it.
But thanks for joining me, and remind me, where can they find you on the internet?
I'm mostly on X. That's my most active platform. It is Charlie B, or my full name, Charlie Billieu. It's spelled out. My last name is Bilyeuu. Charlie is spelled the regular way. But yeah, if you guys are interested in some all right commentary podcast tomorrow at 9
Like
with the guys and some funny questions to some players after the games, then tune in. Have some fun with me. I will go out and ask Olaf Milberg some interesting questions. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, man. All right, yeah, Charlie Billieu. So if you ever hear a young kid asking questions, in the press conference, and honestly asking some brave and good questions, that's Charlie. So Charlie is the man. Charlie is absolutely the man, and we have to talk about who's going to be our man of the match. And we have to talk about where we are going to rank these players. So I'm going to do a quick reset here so I can lop this off for YouTube later on in 3, 2. Hang on, let me get the intro up here. There we go. All right. 3, 2, 1. A slugfest in LA after a first half that put us to sleep. We got all the excitement that we could possibly handle in the second half. We leave California with a point. Should we have had 3 or should we have had 0? We'll talk about that and more when we get into our player rankings, which starts right now. And of course, want to thank Pat Connolly Tavern for sponsoring this channel and supporting this channel and helping me keep my internet bill paid. And you can thank them as well. Next time you're in Dogtown or at the zoo or at Forest Park, want to grab a bite to eat or something to drink, they are a St. Louis institution since 1942, located at the corner of Oakland and Tam. Pat Connolly Tavern, a city on tap bar. And also, if you enjoy good live music, they have live Irish music a few times a week. So be sure to check them out. Pat Connolly Tavern. All right, so here we go. This is our segment where we rank our players, whether they smashed it, whether they were good, whether they were meh, whether they were bad, or whether they are trash. And catching up to some of the comments here, we'll talk about Josh Yaro pretty quickly here. Yaro could have been better, but we'll talk about him when we get there. Some of the ratings for the players. I assume, Jerry, you're getting this off of Fatma. Maybe Seti is 7.6, Ostrak 7.0, Horn 7.7, Benny was an 8.1. So without further ado, we're going to start off in net with, and I'm going to take any and all drama out of this. Ben Lunt absolutely smashed it, and he is the man of the match, period, end of story. I don't think anyone is going to argue that. Big time game. I'm literally watching him stuff Denny Bwanga as we speak. I made a comparison. This is like Jake Lloyd going up against Darth Maul, and this time Jake Lloyd got the dub. Really incredible performance by Ben Lunt today. He is the reason why we are returning to St. Louis with a point. What more can be said about him and how he's filled in since Berkey's been hurt? When we've needed him to step up and have big matches and big time moments, Ben Lunt's been there. And this is going to be, even though he did allow 2 goals to Denny Bwanga, who is a special kind of sauce, he still was at an incredible game. He actually took away 2 goals from Bwanga, as Oscar points out. Post was also an honorable second for man of the match as well, but incredible game by Ben Lunt today. He is our man of the match, and he absolutely smashed it today. Next player we're going to talk about is Kyle Hebert. So Kyle Hebert started out in right wing back, and then he switched over to left wing back, and then by the end of the game, he was back on the right side. Mixed bag performance from him today. I thought he did some things that I really liked. In general, but he also was responsible for leaving Denny Bwanga absolutely unmolested and unmarked on the goal that he scored, the first one. It was overall, I don't think Hebert was bad, but again, he shows his limitations. He was only 14 to 25 passing this game. he is not it if you are wanting him to generate any sort of offense, any sort of transition. We were talking in the first half about how we just cannot transition out of defense, and Kyle Hebert is a part of that problem. He is just not a good transition player at all. He is part of that crew that when you talk about that always pass side to side, I mean, he is kind of that guy. So Kyle Hebert, I'm seeing Oscar saying meh for Kyle Hebert, Jerry saying meh minus. I'm not going to put him in bad, but I'll put him in meh. But I think, Jerry, I think you hit it right on the head here. Meh minus. He almost goes down to bad because of the non-marking of Bouanga, but he did do some positive things today as well. So I'm going to put him in meh, and I think Ben agrees with that as well. Someone that I'm not going to be as nice to, and I know and it's so weird with Josh Yarrow this year. Josh Yarrow at times looks brilliant. He's been my man of the match twice this season, including that awful, dirty, rotten, no good Sporting Kansas game where I thought he played exceptional despite what happened there. I can't look at his overall body of work without getting just visions of him being turned around every which way possible that a man can be turned around by Denny Bouanga. And yes, Denny Bouanga is special sauce. He is absolutely special, but Yarrow's positioning and his footwork when Bouanga was pressing on him was the absolute stuff of nightmares tonight. Yes, he has some good blocks. Yes, he had 11 clearances to be fair, but Yarrow just it was. I mean, you want to talk about your Jake Lloyd versus Darth Maul matchups? It was Josh Yarrow versus Denny Bouanga tonight, and Denny Bouanga made him look bad. So guess what? And Aaron makes a good point here. Yarrow is super athletic, can be excellent in moments. Over times, he just simply loses his mind in space and either gets undressed or turns the ball over. Yarrow 76% accurate passing. That doesn't matter. I disagree. This is where, Oscar, I love you, but I'm going to disagree with you on this. Can't judge him because Bouanga does it to every player in the league. Does he do it to every player this bad though? Like does he make defenders look that bad? I mean, personally, I don't. So, I mean, and if Denny Bouanga is making a player look bad, and you have a bad category in player rankings, whether it's fair, whether it's not fair, I have to be objective here, and I'm going to have to put him in bad. I don't think he was trash, because there were some positives to his game tonight. Yes, and those positives were 11 clearances, 4 interceptions, and 6 recoveries. Yes, that's fair. But when he was made to look bad, and I had to be fair. He looked bad. When Yarrow tried to dribble out on his own, it was quickly turned over. He still makes me nervous with the ball at his feet, even though his passing has improved. But yes, he makes other players look bad, but then he makes players look bad. And Yarrow had a bad night, like a lot of other players do. But yeah, Yarrow's mistake ended up stealing the win. And that is 100%. Denny Bouanga, on that last goal. Granted, there were 3 defenders in the area, but Yarrow needs to step up. Make a tactical foul. He wasn't even on a yellow, so take a yellow. Hack the guy down. Take a red. Take a break the next game. Have a seat. Take a breather. Let's see what Michael Wenzel can do. But if you save us if hacking down Denny Bouanga preserves an extra 2 points, do what you got to do, man. Don't just shadow him and get get turned around, like a freaking spinning top. So Josh Yarrow, I'm sorry, he's bad. He had a bad night tonight. Period. Next up is Timo Baumgartel. Timo Baumgartel, I made this analogy earlier that I think Oscar could play central center back and would at least be a meh night in and night out, because it feels like that whoever plays that position is just blessed this year. Whether it's Kessler, whether it's Timo. And Timo had a good game tonight. I thought Timo had a strong game tonight. He's a pillar out there. He's a 6'3" pillar, and someone that does not look out of place playing in that role. Good passing tonight, 25 out of 31 passing tonight. He made a few headed clearances tonight. He was really using his size to get up and get the ball. 7 clearances total, had a blocked shot, a couple interceptions. I noticed that he really held his ground this game. In fact, he was actually even 5 of 10 on long balls too. So he was trying to get the transition going. But I did notice that Timo really stood his ground this game. Like when I noticed in the Vancouver game that Timo was a little adventurous, and he was willing to play, further up the field, but like it really felt like that he did understand the assignment tonight, and that was to play strong on the back. And he played strong on the back. He anchored our defense. He played a good game. So I'm going to give him a good. I don't think anyone. Anyone, do you guys disagree with Timo Baumgartel? Yeah, Jerry is saying Timo was good. Anyone else? We're done talking about Josh Yarrow. We're done talking about Kyle Hebert. We're on Timo now. I thought Timo had a very strong game tonight at center as our central center back. I thought he was just very strong. Next player we'll talk about, Giannis Horn. Giannis Horn started out as our left wing back, and then he kind of shifted inside as the game went on. Ben agreeing that Timo was very good, and I agree with you on that. Giannis Horn, I thought he had his moments as well. He was very good passing today, 30 of 33 for 91%. He didn't do a whole lot on defense. It did feel that as the second half went on that he was gassed, and I think. And I'm glad to see Nilsson's healthy again until he's not healthy. But I thought that when Horn was out there, he was pretty solid. He didn't have a whole lot to do on defense, though, it felt like, because Denny Bouanga, he did switch over to the right for a little while when Vollum went out, but where's the words? There they are. But like for the most part, Horn didn't feel like he had a whole lot to do. Ethan just did point it out though that Horn had a nice cross for that assist though. That was Horn on that goal. And also Olivier Giroud was a non-factor, and Horn would be part of that. So I think giving Horn a good is a very fair score. He held his ground when he had to, and he played kind of 2 roles tonight. He played wing back, and he played left center back, and I think in both roles he was perfectly fine. I just noticed that he was a little gassed as the game went on, but he's probably getting back to fitness because he was out for a little bit. So yeah, and Oscar agrees Horn was good, so we'll go with that. Conrad Vollum. So he played. He started at left wing back, and then he got his bell rung. Do you guys even remember Conrad Vollum in this game? He was 12 of 15 passing. His passing was good. He was hustling like he usually was. He did have 22 touches in the limited time that he was out there. I don't really recall him doing much before he got hurt, and not in a bad way. I just honestly, I'm having a tough time remembering what he was doing out there. I guess I'll just give him meh, because we really didn't have enough of a body of work to really judge, to be quite honest. So yeah, we'll just give him a meh for that point. Alfredo Morales. All right, Oscar. This is your moment, Oscar. I both love and hate this part because I know the stigma that I have when it comes to Alfredo Morales. It is in my head now. It is deeply rooted in my head. So I need to take a drink here because this one's going to be controversial. Didn't notice Morales in the first half. Noticed him in the second half making good plays. And then he gets the second, then he gets the red. Then he gets the red on a very soft second yellow. I'm torn here. I'm so torn with Morales. And the only thing I'm torn about is whether I put him in trash because of the second red or if I just put him in bad. Because I don't think that foul was that second yellow was fair on him. You could also make the argument that if you're on a yellow, why are you playing so aggressive? Well, it's because you're a 6. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a defensive-minded guy. And to be fair, he was playing better, in my opinion, in the second half. He was doing some things that I actually kind of liked. But that first yellow, as Michael said, was pretty bad. And Oscar, look here. That last part right here. Should know better to not foul. Player with his experience. I'm going to move him. Yeah. I know you said bad. Yeah. But then again, do you think him getting a red appreciably changed the game? I mean, it may have prevented us bringing on Jandé Silva. Final answer. Carlo from Belgium thinks he's trash. Jerry doesn't think he's trash. Oscar thinks bad. Bad minus trash plus. Okay. Take a screenshot. You see where Morales is right here? If I could put him right here, I would. Maybe I should do like duplicate face cards, like so that like I could have like players stacked on top of each other, like if they're both bad or trash. I don't know, but yeah, where it is right here is where I actually rank Morales, but I'll put him in bad. I will put him in bad. Yeah, and Aaron E is saying bad as well. I think that's fair. Aaron does think that had we not gone down to 10, we wouldn't have caught LAFC napping and scored. That's a hot take. And honestly, that's not a bad take either. I don't think that's a bad take at all. And C-Square thinks that that Morales and Yarl deserve to be on the same level, whether it's bad or trash, for different reasons. For different reasons, I see that. I can see that. So I'm gonna leave Morales in bad. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. But I would kind of teeter him a little bit, but bad, because I don't think that second yellow wasn't fair. It was very soft. But anyway, I think I belabored the point enough. Next up is Tomas Ostrak. He was taken out at halftime. Is he still a fitness concern, or was it just about getting Celio out there? Because I'm looking at his stats in FOTMob now. 28 touches, 13 to 17 passing. He was very plucky out there. He plays a very plucky style of defense that I don't think the analytics people really like so much. Like if Michael from Chat City Tactics is in here right now, he'd probably be screaming at me, Ostrak is not a defensive player, and I probably don't have much of an argument to that. But then again, he steps up and he'll make a play. He'll make a tackle at times. Had 6 recoveries. Overall, though, like I don't think he did. I mean, he only had a half, and he didn't really have much time to shine. And again, I don't know if that's just a fitness thing or if it was just a matter of getting Celio out there, but he didn't have much of an impact either way. So I'll put him in meh. And Oscar, I think we are two minds alike on that. Oscar was meh. I think that's a fair rating. not good, not bad. He was fine. I want to see him play a full 90. And I don't know when we're going to see that, but I want to see him play a full 90. Maybe we see it against Union Omaha. Maybe, these guys right here, maybe we see him against Union Omaha play a full 90. But but yeah, you're right. He was in that first half where it was just an absolute quagmire, but he did have some good disruptors, but he was also, we weren't transitioning very well. And he's supposed to be one of the midfield links for that too. Because, if you're having Morales play as that holding 6, then Ostrak should be that, box to box advancing 8, and kind of wasn't. But he did have some good disruptions, as Jerry said. I think it was just meh. Just meh. Moving on now to Marcel Hartl. Marcel Hartl had a couple shots. Had 2 shots on net this game, as a matter of fact, and they were good looks. They were actually pretty good looks. Had a lot of touches in this one. It looked like he was definitely trying to pull some strings out there. 26 to 34 passing. I think it's fair to say at this point we're not getting St. Pauli Marcel Hartl, at least not yet. But I don't think he was bad tonight. I don't think he was bad at all. He was definitely trying to generate. He made 5 passes into the final third. So he was definitely trying out there. I liked what I saw out of Hartl tonight. What do you guys think about Hartl? Because the second half was the continuation of what I thought we were seeing from Vancouver, where we were starting to, connect the dots on offense. When we were starting to generate on offense. And Hartl was kind of a big part of that. And as Jerry said, Hartl was playing further up, which is where he needs to be. And he just looked more comfortable out there. He didn't have to run as much, probably. Ben thinks he was good. Jerry thinks he was good. I'll go with that. I'll give him a good. I think Marcel Hartl was solid. Even if we had someone on the back end of set pieces, as C Squared said, his set pieces were a little more errant. Oscar says Hartl was good, created more today, still playing without support in the creative half. Although we're going to talk to someone that did come up big today. Amy, what did I say? What did I say, Amy? What did I say? Yeah, but Hartl was good. Hartl was good today. Another player that this one's going to be kind of interesting. So Cedric Toyshirt, he's been like the invisible man on offense, and partly it's not necessarily his fault. It's been they haven't been linking up to him very well, and he's also getting back to fitness, which said he did play 71 minutes today. He's getting a little bit deeper into games. And had 2 shots on target. One of them went in, and one of them was very nicely put in. He's scoring. Amy's saying. I'm assuming you're talking about Morales. No. Cedric Toyshirt, I thought. Let's see here. Let's keep this conversation going. Aaron E., who needs to be held accountable for consistently not being at the back post on corners and set pieces? Who gets graded for that? Jerry, you were complaining about that before. That's an Alex Langer question. Ben thinks that said he was good for the goal. He generated 2 quality chances. His XG was 0.77. He didn't have a lot of touches. He still was. They weren't connecting to him very well. But he was 7 to 7 passing. He was effective, and he scored, and he got shots on net. One of them went in. Oscar thinks low good. Ben thinks good for the goal. Oscar thinks low good because he barely touches or participates. That's that's a good point. But I don't know if that's necessarily Seti's fault or if it's just a symptom of our problems getting the ball forward. Maybe it's an issue of Seti not getting in the proper position to receive passes, or I don't know. I would have to actually watch this back again and study him to see exactly where the disconnect is with Seti. Jerry thinks that Seti was good plus. Finally found a run in space for the goal, which is that's kind of his game. So just like with Morales, if I would put Morales teetering in bad trash, like right here, I'm going to say Hartle was kind of here. Like where I have him right here, kind of teetering on great, but his overall body of work, as Oscar said, still is kind of lacking just in the fact that he just doesn't have much impact on the game in general. But when he does, I mean, he scored, though. He scored. He had a chance. I'll go with Jerry's good plus on that. I'll put him in good, but he's kind of like around here, honestly, for me. Yeah, I think that's fair. And then finally, Joao Klaus. So Joao Klaus showing LAFC how they should be deploying Olivier Giroud as that holding striker. Meh with Klaus. It wasn't maybe good for Klaus. He wasn't. He didn't have particularly a ton of touches this game, I don't think. I'm just trying to look back and see what he actually did. They only had 25 touches, so he also wasn't really a factor on offense. He was trying to make things happen, off the ball, which it's the great disconnect with Klaus and fans in that they don't see what he does away from the ball. But Klaus was definitely trying to make things happen away from the ball. He was going back, as he typically does to, help out in transition defense as well. Had a couple stabs at net. Neither one hit target really. So he doesn't get much credit there. I'm thinking, Oscar does point out that he did win some aerial duels. He even had a couple of headed clearances as well. He had 5 passes into the final third, which has to be complimented. What do you guys think? Ben thinks low good. Twelman first half said he was great off the ball, disrupting their offense. Yeah, that's true. It's so hard to look at pure numbers with Klaus and just judge him based off that and not take the whole body of work into account. So I'll go kind of like a here for Klaus, leaning more towards the good side. But like this is about where I would put Klaus, is right around here. But I'll put him in good just for argument's sake. I would put more tiers on this tier maker, by the way, but then everything would be kind of smushed on the screen. So I want to try to avoid that. I want these to be as pretty clear as possible. But yeah, I'll put low good's fine for Klaus. He had a good effort. We will save Olaf for later. And then I'm just going to move them up. Okay. Coming off the bench in kind of an emergency situation was Akil Watt. By the way, Olaf using all 5 subs today. Or I guess the one was the concussion sub, but Akil Watts came on in the 38th minute for a dinged up Conrad Vollum. Thoughts on Akil Watts? Did nothing really egregious for me. I did find it interesting with Watts in when you're looking at the Denny Bouanga goals, Akil Watts was nowhere to be found. Even though Watts was brought on to be a right wing back, it felt like they moved him more into a central midfield role as time went on. Kind of as a second holding 6 along with Morales before Morales, did what he did. But so I thought, C Squared says that Watts was Ben says Watts was meh. C Squared was meh. I don't think Watts had a bad game. He didn't. I mean, he did nothing that stood out, and that's the definition of meh for me. It's not a bad meh. It's just he was fine. He was fine. And that's and again and mark this down. This is another week where I'm not dogging Akil Watts because I've dogged him plenty in the past before, but he's fine. And honestly, if he's a sub off the bench, maybe that's his best role. Just coming off the bench, and into a more defensive minded role. I think that might be his role going forward. Oscar saying meh as well. I just think Akil Watts is stretched as a starter. kind of like the same way that I think Morales is stretched as a starter. I think that Josh Yarrows is stretched as a starter. Hebert is probably stretched as a starter a little bit, although Hebert, I think, is more consistent than Yarrow. But yeah. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then a trio of subs coming on in the 71st minute. First one we'll talk about Simon Betcher. Simon Betcher, I thought he had a pretty good game. A good shift coming off the bench in the role that I think he is built for. He is a physical, disrupting type of a forward that can hold up play a little bit, but also just kind of wear on a defense. And if he's fresh, coming off the bench with fresh legs, I think that's his most effective role. He almost got the second goal. He was definitely right in there on that. 9 of 11 passing. He was good passing. He did have a shot on target. I think that was in that kind of scrum that led to the Nilsson goal. He had a lot of touches for the time that he was out there. He had 20 touches in about 25 minutes, which is kind of a lot for a player in his role. A couple in the box, had 4 passes into the final third. And I thought he did his job today. I thought he did his job coming off the bench. I like what Ben did for the time that he had, says Ben, and I agree. I do agree with that. And Simon says good. So I'm going to go with that. Simon had a good game today. And I'm happy to see that from Simon, because I had been kind of dogging him lately as well. Even though I got him on the back of the confluence. Get Aaron. Are you wearing your Betcher? Because I am. And there's a reason I have Betcher on the back, because I genuinely like him. Oscar says meh, but I thought Simon had a really good shift out there. He did his job disrupting and being a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'll give him a good. Actually, I missed one sub earlier. Celio came on before anyone else at halftime. Thoughts on Celio? Was it, even though the second half was, and yes, Aaron is wearing his Betcher. Very nice. Me and Aaron got copycat jerseys. Celio, it's so funny because even though we had such an exciting second half, and you bring on Celio to generate some excitement in the second half, Celio didn't do much. He wasn't really a factor. And I keep thinking back to when Marcel Hartl just completely ignored him breaking on the left and tried to feed it over to Watts. And that was like when I was at the height of my absolute disenfranchisement with the game until Toyshirt finally scored. Oscar kind of harsh, thinking Celio was bad, not at his best. 9 of 12 passing. He only had 28 touches and, over 45 minutes. Just wasn't really much of a factor. Only 3 passes into the final third. Wasn't winning his ground duels. I did notice that he kind of moved him back into a right wing back spot. And I think Belanca torched him once. He's not a wing back. Ben thought that Celio was good because he was fighting for balls. Celio added energy, says Jerry. He speeds the game up, gets others moving quicker. So that could have been a byproduct of that. Fatmob pointing out that Celio lost the most duels in the game. He was a non-factor on defense, which I think we just have to accept the fact that Celio is not a defender. And that's been something that's been kind of going for a while. He's just not a defender. And he did give up the ball for the second LAFC goal. That's actually a good shout. This one's tough because he did give up that ball, and that was a pretty bad giveaway. Oscar made some good arguments for Celio to be in the bad category. I was thinking kind of meh before then. Jerry thinks meh minus. So do I put him like around here maybe? But you know what? For someone that's brought on to make an impact, and if he doesn't make an impact, bad. I hate to do it to Celio, but yeah. Higher hopes for Celio, says C squared, makes it seem more disappointing than I think his performance was. But he is brought on to be a spark. And it just wasn't apparent to me that he was providing much. It's a tough one. It's Jerry, I agree with it. It's kind of a tough one. Ryan thinks that Celio was meh, but Oscar made some good arguments that Celio just had an off night. So I'm going to leave Celio there, maybe a little bit controversially, but yeah, he just didn't do anything that really impressed me tonight. Moving on, we have a couple more players to rate, and then we're going to rate Olaf in the end here. First one is Joachim Nilsson, the goal scorer. Joachim Nilsson. You know, first game back for Joachim Nilsson after one of his many injuries. So I thought that when he went down again, I thought that was the last we would see of Joachim Nilsson, honestly, but he's back. Before the goal, I wouldn't have much to say about Joachim Nilsson. But he got the goal. I mean, he was in the right place at the right time. In fact, he got the goal because he made the shot in the first place that got saved, and then he got turned around and it went off his back. I mean, we got a goal off of Nilsson's back today, literally. Yeah, I'm also kind of curious what the defense will look like without Yarrow and Hebert as well. But back to Nilsson. Well, it might be seeing what that might look like. Joachim Nilsson. Oh, that was an old goal, so it wasn't off of Nilsson's back. Darn. Then I guess, I'll put him in meh then. I was going to rate him nicer based on if he had scored, but I guess if it did go off Ordaz, then I mean, he did still generate the chance that, for Ordaz to make the own goal. Yeah, I hear you, Oscar. But I mean, he did have the shot in the first place that was saved and then went off Ordaz's back. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot to write home about with Nilsson. Just and then Mekhi Joyner. I liked what Mekhi Joyner brought. Like when you're talking about bringing on a spark plug and a more energy off the bench, to me, Mekhi Joyner brought that. I was a lot more impressed with Joyner this game than I was with the Vancouver game, where he had about a similar amount of playing time. Because remember, in Vancouver, it was just him and Celio that came on in the second half. Joyner, I thought was solid when he was out there. He was running around like his hair was on fire, trying to make things happen. He did have a shot from outside the box. I called for him to take the shot, but it was blocked. And Aaron makes a good point. Joyner plays unafraid. I mean, maybe it's just that teenage precociousness in him, but I thought Joyner looked very strong. Like it's not shown in the stats so much because he only was like 1 of 2 passing. But I love the energy and the effort. So did Ben. I'm going to give him a good. I'm going to give Joyner a good. I want to see more of Mekhi Joyner, and I'm really curious now because they've used 3 of his 6 potential appearances now. Do they just go ahead and put him on the supplemental roster at this point and just make him a part of the team now? Because it is clear that Olaf has some faith in Mekhi Joyner with how he's been using him the past couple of weeks. Maybe it was the response to us calling Olaf out for not playing the kids before. But Ryan is right. Energy and effort can get someone a long way in this fan base. And Aaron thinks that waited a bit too long to take that shot. That's fair, but otherwise was solid, and we need more hair on fire. Oscar saying Joyner put out a lot of courage, didn't get many touches, but he knows he has to run and doesn't give up the ball. He understood his assignment because he's fresh legs at the end of the game, and he was absolutely running around like a madman, and that is what you need. He understood the assignment. Joyner, very good. And yeah, it is kind of hard when the teammates don't give him the ball as much. It feels like he has to work for his own opportunities a little bit, which that might be another issue in of itself. All right, now we get to Olaf. So for our final rating, Olaf. He did use more of his subs. He used more of his bench this time around. I was very dissatisfied with the first half because I thought we played too much into a deep turtle and it was just quite frankly just painful and boring to watch. And I was getting, I mean, you heard me. I was getting very frustrated with how we were looking in that first half. And then second half, switch goes off. Well, maybe not right away in the second half, but it actually kind of did, because we actually started off the second half on the attack. You wonder what he said to the players, what and what exactly he instructed the players to do at halftime. Maybe this was the plan, was to just weather them in the first half, like like Muhammad Ali against George Foreman, Rumble in the Jungle, when he just you tire out the superior puncher, and then you kind of strike. I still don't like how scared we play at times, though. And he'll argue that it's tactical, and his defenders will argue that it's tactical. I think it's just too extreme defensively. But I do appreciate that in the second half, we switched it up. We even played a 4-3-3 at points. I thought that he showed more willingness in the second half to change it up a little bit and adapt and change the philosophy a little bit. We were pressing a little bit more in the second half. We spread out a little bit. Oscar thinks that Olaf was meh. Ben thinks that Olaf was meh. I do agree that the sub for Ostrak, Celio for Ostrak, was questionable. Yeah, and then maybe Morales should have been taken out of there earlier. Like, is this when we see JGR? When Morales is on that second yellow, and like if you actually look back at the game, Morales got the second yellow in the 83rd minute. Remember, Morales is not meant to play 90 minutes. That was kind of the MO on him. He's not supposed to be a 90-minute center mid. He's just not. 83rd minute, he is getting a second yellow. Should he have been taken out earlier? Should we have seen Miggy Perez out there? Should we have seen JGR? When will we see JGR? What is up with JGR? So, put in another 6 somewhere else. Doesn't have to get in those situations. We have one, JGR. We don't play him. You could have played Akil Watts as a true 6, and then you put Miggy out there to be kind of a box-to-box. I'm not saying that would have been the right move, because I'm not as high on Miggy as others are, but you had options. Instead of leaving Morales out there on his 34-year-old legs in the 83rd minute to get a second yellow, whether it was fair or not, he got it. He put himself in a position to get a second yellow. And he was put in that position to get a second yellow because Olaf left him out there. And yeah, Ryan thinks that it could have been upgraded to good with a better starting game plan. I don't necessarily disagree with the starting game plan. I just think it was a little too strongly defensive. But, I mean, we're leaving LA with a point, whether we deserve it or not. But why are you leaving Morales out there in the 83rd minute? Meh. We got the point. But I still scratch my head when it comes to Olaf. So that's the ratings right here for you. Ben Lunt, man in the match. A whole lot of good this game. Probably the most good out of any game that I have covered so far this season, honestly, except maybe the LA Galaxy game, honestly. I don't even know if I had that many players in good for the LA Galaxy game. I'll have to go back and look. And no one truly trash, although we had 2 players, Yaro and Morales, kind of flirt with that one, and Alex Langer, Jerry Hayes is not a fan. So yeah, not great. Usually Langer is great. And JGR was not on the bench. So okay, where is JGR? What is going on with him? But then Benson would have had to come in and you move pieces around. That's fair. But But anyway, those are the player rankings. That is going to be a wrap on this watch along as well as the player rankings. If you enjoyed this video or this watch along, you're still watching along with that, please make sure to drop a like on this because it really does help the algorithm out and helps this channel out and helps this channel grow. If you're watching the watch along, or excuse me, if you're watching the player rankings video and you have a comment on any of my rankings, I want to hear them from you as well. And make sure to subscribe because that helps this channel out. Big thank you to my zombie ultras, all 14 of you, including Super Ravioli. If you're still hanging out there in the chat room there, Ryan Fraley, I've seen you today as well. Jeremy Clementi, you were here earlier. Jerry Hayes, David Cotton, I saw you earlier as well. Buckethead, you've been hanging out. Angus, you've been in there. Aaron, you were in there. You guys help keep this channel going. And of course, everyone that is in the supporter section, including Amy Murr and others, thank you so much. You guys are the originals and help keep this channel alive and going. So thank you so much for that. This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin here, and I will not have an away watch along for this coming weekend, May 3rd. It's we go to Seattle for that one. I will be in the Northeast. I will be in New England. I will be actually, during the time that game is being played, I will probably be driving back with David Cotton from Rhode Island FC, or I might still even be in Providence, Rhode Island after the game. Who knows? But yeah, I will not be available for the next away watch along. So check back and see when the next one will be. I'll have to take a look at the schedule. Of course, thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for taking part in this. Super Rav had a lot of fun. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, Rav. Aaron E giving me some claps. Orlando with the 4 thumbs. Jerry Hayes with a multicultural clap there. Thank you very much. And everyone, have a good night. We got a point in LA, and I don't think we should be too angry about that. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it.